Hey, we're live!
Hey, welcome. Welcome to episode, is it 15?
Yeah.
Legends of Avantris.
I really think we should let West Coaster...
West Coaster, you're killing it!
Yeah.
Brave Sarodak.
Ganji the Manji, a.k.a. Spark.
So,
Somebody touch my spaghetti. So this is episode 15 of Legends of Avantris, courtesy of West Coast. Episode 15, The Cave of the Mouth, starring Captain Matthias S. Claus, the man with the spectral biceps. Then, also Brave Sir Rhoda, Cleaver or Lever. You never know.
Always Lever.
Then we have Ganji. Actually, no, we'll just do it when you choose the player. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why you count.
These are now canon.
Welcome to Legends of Avantris, starring Loopy today. This is actually the first episode in, we did take down our Christmas decorations, by the way, but we've relocated down to the basement. A little bit more space. We have an actual gaming table now. Just a lot
Better
more
lighting,
better lighting,
technically.
better setup. So we're just trying some things. So we'll keep improving. Bear with us. And so our inaugural studio episode. And so I guess we'll just start by, I guess you guys probably already all know us. If you don't, we are a campaign that's been playing for almost 2.5 years now. Still level 8. This is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game. We do mostly rules written, but we also have a lot of homebrew, a lot of rules as fun, rules as intended, and the like. And so if you can complain in the comments, Twitch chat. If you're on Facebook, we love you on Facebook, but come talk to us on Twitch. It should be pinned in the comments.
Yes.
Twitch is where all the action happens. The chat is lit AF, as the kids say these days. So we'll be. We love to hang out with you guys on Twitch. And with that, I think we're ready to go around with our party. We first, our guest player, Derek, who is playing Midnight Matthias White, a.k.a.
Scroll up.
Yeah.
Scroll up, you gotta scroll up. We gotta get this right.
I'm gonna get this right.
This is
the spectral biceps.
It's
Matthias S. Claus. Matthias S. Claus, the
Of the
man
spectral
with
biceps.
Yeah.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
There you go.
Matthias S. Claus, the man with the spectral biceps. Then we have he is a human revenant, swashbuckler rogue, and vengeance paladin. He was a pirate captain that got betrayed by one of his crew members, Adelaide Blue, drowned. A voice called him. He made a bargain, signed a contract, and was resurrected with a ghost ship. He is seeking his revenge on Adelaide Blue. The party knows, and you guys know, is Deadra Tidehunter. We then have Rodek Stonehearth, played by Richie, also known as Brave Sir Rodek, Cleaver or Lever, you never know.
Cleave him and leave him, you know?
Cleave him and leave him. That's my classic maneuver. He is a mountain dwarf. He's a mountain dwarf fighter.
That's apt!
Yeah, it is. Let's go. You should put that on a t-shirt. He's a mountain dwarf fighter from the northern region of Amut. People are getting messed up by frost giants, fucked up by fire giants. By the way, adult stream, not intended for children. Just putting that up there.
Super rated R.
Super rated R. Very lewd.
Cleaver, I didn't even know her.
A lot of great jokes like that. He has a war horn of mysterious importance. He is trying to find answers about that. We then have Ganji Stormscale, played by Scotes, also known as, where is he? Ganji the Manji, a.k.a. Sparkmouth. Somebody wants to touch of my spaghetti. He is a bronze dragonborn war cleric of Bahamut from the southern continent, not a region, continent of Nekbet. His people, the metallic dragonborn, are in a nearly eternal war with the chromatic dragonborn. He's looking for some sweet ass artifacts to fuck up the chromatic dragonborn and help his people stop being at war all the time. We then have Sylvie Flickerwicket, played by Nikki here, also known as Sylvie Sass, aka MC Glitter Bubble. That's a good one. That's a really good one. She is a forest gnome warlock of the Arc Fae variety. She had stumbled through a Fae crossing when she was younger, met the Arc Fae Titania Queen of the Summer Court, made a pact with her, and then got warlock powers, and now she's serving the Summer Court, and then Titania also communicates to her in dreams, and she's doing her bidding. We then have, we do this out of order because of the chat, so we're going to do, here we go. We got Annulin Mosgrove, played by Kelsey here. also known as the diva, Annulin Vulture Song, Piercer of
Avian hearts.
Avian Hearts.
Nice.
Just fucking up vultures.
Oh, that's
left
right,
and
that was badass.
Vulture's Bane. She is a Wood Elf Ranger of the Hunter variety. She has... her mother was kidnapped by fire giants. Her father was killed by said fire giants, and she's trying to save her mother, looking for ways in order to do that. It's a very dangerous proposition. And then finally, we have Avantris True Strike, played by Andy here, also known as Vandy, aka Aqua Flame, aka Natty One.
I rolled so many Avantris's in the Fate campaign last time. It was
Did
real
you
bad.
though?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you were just Vandersing all
Yeah,
over.
that thing. Not.
Oh man, I Avantris.
So welcome to
Oh,
episode
guys,
15
I
of
just
Legend of
did.
Avantris: The Cave of the Mouth. We're already off to a great start, you guys.
Yeah.
We're really off to an awesome start. So I'm Mikey. I write fan fiction and roll dice and piss off all my players. That's really all I do. And haven't killed them yet, but we'll see. We'll see. And with that, I think we're ready to get into last time on Legends of Avantris. So, last time on Legends of Avantris, you had arrived at Undertow Isle aboard the Devil's Due, Matthias's ghost ship. You saw that it seemed to be mostly uninhabited. Very treacherous looking, dense swampland, a lot of strange dead forests going up the volcano. It seems like a dormant volcano. If you knew anything about geology, you'd probably say that.
I don't.
Someone, Lumi knows all about it. Lumi, she's a geologist in her spare time.
In the Feywild.
And at the top, though, there were huge ruins of an enormous ancient keep. Seemed to be very, very old ancient keep. Seemed to be of ancient dragonborn architecture. They then made their way around the island. They saw that there seemed to be some kind of makeshift city that the crooks, these lizard folk pirates, had built out of remnants of shipwrecks and pieces of wood. Really, just ramshackle shanty city of these lizard folk with their huge fleet docked in this large harbor of the island. They then went north around the island. It's upstairs. We can, if you want to go fetch it.
Yeah.
The party then went on to
there Rodek goes, leaving again.
Yeah, Rodek's running away.
Rodek, he just rolled Avantris, so now he has to go do a Rodek.
He's a full Rodek.
He ran away.
They then went on to the eastern side of the island and discovered a strange-looking cave mouth that seemed to be deliberately carved into the face, the head of an open maw, what seemed to be a black dragon. huge cave mouth that Matthias had ventured that he could probably sail a ship through during high tide. And there's the map of the of Undertow Isle right here. So on the east side, there's a little cave there. And despite much protestation from Rodek and not many other people about it being a bad idea, they decided to turn in and then discovered that one of the reasons why it's called Undertow Isle is that the strange current was pulling even the ghost ship, which normally was pretty good about overcoming a lot of weather and a lot of the state of the sea, was being pulled along. They saw basically a ship graveyard, but they still decided to turn in, attempts to turn into the cove. They were not able to, but thanks to some quick thinking from Angie in controlling water, he managed to guide them from smashing apart on the rocks, guide them to a rocky beach where they fully beach and tilted up on side of a cliff there.
All according to Keikaku.
All according to Keikaku, really. And due to that, Matthias' crew was not able to join them as they used water walk to get attacked by some sea lions, not like the little arf guys like the 3.5 sea lions, big fish lions. And they walked into
naturally.
Yeah.
3.5.
Well
3.5. Yeah.
There
It's
Much
in,
more literally.
Tales of the Yawning Portal. Tales of the Yawning Portal is where you can find their stat block if you're interested. And they killed those guys. They realized that they were branded with some kind of symbol of Umberly. They seem to be watch creatures patrolling the seas. Then, after making their way to the cave mouth, they heard strange goings on, a splash. They saw that someone had just been thrown into this large sacrificial hole of seawater in this cave, and through some daring plan, Vanders went invisible on the broom and managed to heave this person out, a woman, and managed to save her. They got a surprise round on the cultists and completely obliterated them just effortlessly. And with that, they briefly questioned the woman. She said that the woman that they were looking for, the other tide hunter, was further off into the cave system, further off, deeper into the side of the cliffs there, and they saw the strange remnant bones of some enormous creature and what seemed like rotting flesh around it, and just a horrible putrid smell. And with that, I think we're ready to, unless I miss anything.
Not me, no.
Okay. With that, I think we're ready to go on. You are recovering from the battle, although music. Everyone knows.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows I can't DM without music.
Come on,
So
Vanders.
come on, everyone knows that I have great sources. I have excellent sources. If I could hold on.
I have excellent tracks.
The music's like good.
The music is like good. It's like real super male vitality. And I'm really struggling here. Why don't you guys have a conversation here till I pull up my music?
Yeah, so here's the island. Here's a little
okay,
close up of the
So,
ear.
What do we think? What am I doing? I don't know what voice I am.
Aye.
I never knew.
What do we think the skeleton be? Aye.
Are we?
It's a sperm. I'm not aware of this creature.
Oh shit, the skeleton.
Yeah.
Does
Does it look like a
it?
sperm?
I mean, it looks like a dragon, right?
So,
Inside the cave.
Yeah, does Mikey's drawing look like a sperm?
I'm a great artistic talent.
He's an artiste, you might say.
One of the great artistic minds of our
Does
time.
skeleton look like it connects to the
Skull entrance?
skull entrance?
So it does not. So you are in the cave of the mouth, as they say, in the mouth,
the hip children, they say.
the mouth of the cave. And let me know if the music's too loud. Anybody? I just need it to be.
Or if you hear any echoes from anybody, also let us know. We're still playing with the sounds.
Yeah, definitely let us know. Let us know.
Are you good?
Let us know.
Testing. Yeah, I can hear myself pretty bad.
Huh. Okay. Let's just turn that down, and
Yeah,
then we'll keep going.
Okay.
So the bodies of the dozen or so slain cultists lie around you. Some are just floating in this sacrificial pool. There doesn't seem to be any movement. There seems to be a calm after the battle. The sea is still raging heavily outside. It's not stormy, but remember the ocean was very choppy. It was very, very rough waters around there, so you could hear the rough roaring ocean. Although the sea breeze is kind of howling in to this cave, it's not doing a great job at blowing away this horrific putrid stench that's in your nostrils. And if you remember that the base of this cave came out and into the shape of a mouth, as the cave tapered back, as in what would be like the throat of this statue, you then see the bones, which seem to be the remnants of some series of bones that look like potential tail bones of some kind of enormous creature.
So,
And
like essentially like a carcass.
It could, yeah, the remnants of an enormous carcass that's rotting, and you're not really sure how long, but it then curves along, and then the cave narrows so much that it seems almost as if this cave is following the remains. As you can see that at either side of this tail, there seems to be actual stonework built into the sides of the cave there.
Is there anything on the stonework?
You are too far enough away. It's basically like the sides of walls that continue further into the cave that kind of arc around to the right there.
So, Is this? So I'm thinking like this is the first room of fucking. Is it Steam Vaults or which dungeon in Supercharged Cavern is it?
I don't know.
Sorry. Anyway, not
Steamlands or
important.
whatever?
No, it's the one with Ahun. And I'm blanking on the name.
Slave Pens.
Slave Pens. Yes,
Got it.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay. It's kind of curving around there. So.
All right. So, so we have this woman, and
Oh yeah, the woman. I'll explain. She is off, kind of clinging to one of the huge rocks that made up one of the lower row of teeth in this cave, and she's like panting. She's spitting up water occasionally, coughing a lot. She seems to be very traumatized with what happened.
Does it look like she's like? Is there like a safe place we can like stow her while we go further in? Like obviously we can't take her back out to the ghost ship for many reasons, but like, is there like a place in the cave that's a little more sheltered, just in like this cave, this cave of the mouth? I just don't want her to like get swept away by a wave or some shit while she's clinging to that very like seaward part of the cave.
Or like a pirate, or
or anything.
So this cave looks it's very large, but it does not seem to have any kind of like nooks and crannies where like it would be like safe, like any extra chambers. She seems to be fairly exposed, and you're not really sure how high the water would get during high tide.
Right.
I suppose we could put her in my bag of holding.
That does not work like that.
I suppose we could bring her with us. Beyond that, we know that it's low tide. Are there like tide marks where we can see that?
Yeah, the tide marks you can see it's lower tide. The tide's probably going out at this point.
Okay, so we'd have time before the tide finished going out and came back in.
Potentially.
I'm not opposed to taking her with us and trying to protect her, but we do need to move forward, and I'm sure Matthias here is eager to find Adelaide Blue.
Aye. What say we ask her what she wants to do?
I second that.
What's your name, lass?
My name. Why did you grab me, by the way? My name is Cecily Larbert.
Aye, Cecily. I be looking for a woman named Adelaide Blue.
I told you I don't know an Adelaide Blue.
Do you know her by the name of Deandra?
Is she that sea witch that went over down into the cave deeper?
That's a fitting description. Aye, that may very well be her. Yes.
It could.
Do you remember anything that happened to you before we pulled you up out of that well?
Yes, I do. The strange woman, Deandra, I guess he said her name was. She and her tiefling friend were discussing some kind of ritual, something they were going to do deep into a temple. They mentioned.
The tiefling friend, was this a male or woman?
He was a male. Yes.
He wouldn't have been purple by any chance, would he?
No. Yes. He was purple. Of course. Yes. Do you know him?
You better believe we do. That's definitely our man.
These are such bad people. How do you get involved with this? Why are you here? Where am I?
We're here to, hopefully put an end to this evil. How did you find yourself to this island? What's the last thing you remember before we pulled you out of the deep?
Well, I'm just a whaler's wife. Well, I guess a widow now. She kind of looks off to the side, sadly, and says, when those horrible brute pirates attacked, they cut down Josiah and carried me off. Mentioned that I fitted the general description of some kind of sacrifice.
Fit the description. That is curious, aye.
Were you with other prisoners?
Yes, no, I was.
Did they all look like you?
Well, the group I was with did, yes. We all had longer, darker hair, yes.
Roderick, you can't just go around asking people if they all look the same.
I suppose not. So, just so I'm clear, so you said that they're both ahead in some kind of temple in the cave?
As they mentioned a temple, they mentioned a ritual. The tiefling was very excited. It seemed that the woman, the Diadra woman, was going to do him a favor or something.
I suggest we make haste.
So
I agree.
we have to move on. We have to, as our friend said, we have to put a stop to this madness. What do you want to do? Do you want to come with us, or do you want to stay here and try to be as safe as you can?
I don't want to go wherever they went. It seemed far worse than here. Are you going to leave me?
We have to, unfortunately.
Unless you be having any magical abilities that you might be able to defend yourself with.
I'm a wailing widow. I don't have any magical abilities. And I'm not all of a sudden.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband.
So
I walk up and I start to put an arm around her and comfort her.
Make just a general charisma check.
Oh. Let's go with 13.
Okay, she seems a little bit calmer. She's kind of sniffling a little bit. She seems to be a little out of it. The experience of being chained up and tossed into a horrible sacrificial pit.
Understandable.
Is kind of.
Naturally.
It seems to have had her effect. She seems a little bit defeated, but you've calmed her down.
I understand where you're coming from.
With luck, we'll be back for you once we're done here.
So, I have a question. If I can cast through Lumi, like, touch abilities or things like that, would I be able to cast Liamon's tiny hut through Lumi if she stayed with the hut? Would that work?
Is it Haman's tiny hut a touch?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Probably not.
I think it's more like you're applying, like she just is another set of hands for you.
Gotcha.
In that sense.
She could cast invisibility.
On herself.
And she can't cast on somebody else?
No, just on herself.
I think you give one other person invisibility.
No, she can only turn herself. She doesn't have invisibility.
Yes.
No,
she
you
can
could
turn
cast
invisible.
invisibility if she couldn't Lumi tell you that they're in danger, and couldn't she use one of your spell slots to cast invisibility on both of you if we needed it?
On her, yeah. Well, if invisibility is touch.
I think it is.
It is touch, yeah. So yeah, that would work.
Okay.
So why don't we have Lumi stay here? Are you alright with that?
Okay.
Alright. Well, I think we need to rest up just a wee bit more, but then we need to keep going.
Okay. No.
Did we already take a short rest?
You guys had.
I did because I am missing hit dice, so I used.
Yeah,
We did.
No,
we did
she-
out.
yeah.
We
No.
did before.
We did
Beforehand. Yeah.
When we were outside the cave.
We fought the sea
Well,
lions.
that means I didn't take any damage in the last fight.
Yeah,
None of us did.
No, you guys completely obliterated them.
I think we killed them all in the surprise round.
They did like one move.
Yeah, one of the little guys did one thing
The
and
cleaver.
missed, I think.
That was
Croc
awful.
killer.
That fairy fireman.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, use that shit more.
So I would say. So I think we should mechanically just wait until we're rested.
Okay.
And
You
then
guys
move
wait
on.
about an hour, and
Okay.
Matthias comforts her. You guys kind of rest up. You're planning this as you go. The stench is not getting stronger or anything. It just has the same horrible. It's just assaulting your nostrils constantly. Short rest.
Okay, short rest.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
So I haven't used one yet, so. Shite. 2.
Now, Matthias, I understand you're nearly immortal, but what lies ahead is probably one of the most trying things that we'll face. So I just want you to be ready.
Aye, and that's why I'm trying to decide if I get any spells back at this time.
I don't think you do.
No, I don't.
Not that I know much about rogues or paladins, but.
Just be aware of Orpheus. He is quite the tricky fellow.
I would like to reiterate to everybody that we've faced Orpheus before. We know he's a very powerful sorcerer. We faced Diadra before. We know she's a very powerful sorcerer, perhaps. So if they're both together, this will be very dangerous. We could die, so just be prepared.
To die?
She does. Is all I'm saying.
I feel very inspired. Thanks.
I've already died once. I'm not afraid of dying
What
a
I
second
mean
time.
is, let's try to have a plan.
Don't
And
worry,
let's-
I have 900 gold worth of diamonds.
We just keep this guy alive. That's all we need. All right. Well, let's go stealthily forward. Anilin, do you have any more magical power left? Do you wanna? How are we feeling about using Pass Without a Trace?
Feeling good. I feel like I could do that. Possibly 2 more times.
Oh wow. Okay. Is that a level 2 spell? Just so I know.
Yeah, level
Okay. Yeah. I think let's do it. All right.
I'm fine with
Let's
I
steal.
love rolling 41 stealth.
that.
Are we stealing away?
Yeah, let me get some stealth checks.
Oh yeah. Well,
So everyone roll stealth check.
Sorry.
Hooray! So that's gonna be a 13 with Pass Without Trace.
Wow.
Oh, we get plus 10 on that.
Yeah.
Plus 10.
Oh wow. 23.
Mine's a 38.
34.
Not good.
29.
16.
How is that even possible?
Classic Rodek.
I have disadvantage. I don't know what his excuse is.
I don't-
23. 23 for me.
I rolled a 3.
Okay. You, Annulin channels her nature, her primal magic, and shrouds the entire party in darkness. You all attempt to get as stealthy as you can as you make your way, and the Cecily is kind of clinging back towards the side of the cave, and she says, "I hope you'll come back for me."
We will.
We hope so too.
I'll be coming back for you for sure. And I give her a wink.
And 200 gold.
Flip her a coin, yeah.
Okay, she catches
Interface. That's in, yeah.
it. Does
She takes 1
3
point of
damage.
damage.
She falls back into the drowning hole.
And so she's clinging it, and you guys are continuing on to the cave.
Did we ever get the thing off of her leg?
We'll just say you did.
Oh, I was gonna try to pick the lock.
Yeah, I thought we did.
We talked about
We had
it.
a long rest.
We'll just say you had enough time to do it. It's fine.
Okay.
You guys can
Got
move on. Okay, so you stealthily make your way through this cavern. You approach the tip of this tail. There is what seems to be a massive pile on the entire floor of where the cave narrows into this stone structure that is just this putrid, rotting flesh. And it seems to be just on the bottom as if it's just fallen off of the bone, and you see these huge bones. And you've seen things like oxtails or like tails in your hunting or you're eating. This looks like just an enormous version, like no cartilage, no sinew. The bone is just the bone, but all of this flesh on the bottom.
Like one of those like Flintstone ribs joints that they put on like
Yeah.
the side of the car in the intro.
One of these.
Basically, the huge tail bones, and they continue to get larger and larger as you make your way down, as you see that it's probably going towards a body. Or it would have been a body.
Can we tell what animal it might be? What kind of animal?
Well, as you turn the corner, you see a cavern.
Ah.
Or rather,
Heyo.
not a cavern, but a
That is not a sperm.
I have been misled.
a stone structure that seems to be encasing the skeletons of what you can only assume to be an enormous dragon, bigger than what most of you would have seen. Ganji is probably the only one that would have any context of ever seeing anything bigger than this.
I'm not okay with any of this.
The tail ends and you see a huge rib cage. Ribs going up almost all the way to the ceiling, and you on either side are separate chambers where wing bones are sprawling out, and you see that it's almost as if, although the cave, you're not sure how wide or what the structure is, some sort of, it almost looks like a temple-like structure has been built around the remains of this enormous dragon.
And the flesh is still there.
There is rotting flesh on every single inch of this structure, and it is completely hideous, vile. This strange
Going on like
mixtures of
Casanova.
greens and blacks. I would like everyone to make a Constitution saving throw once you get into the chamber.
I'm
proper.
putting a kerchief around my
Okay.
nose.
Okay.
That's
I'm
Avantris is
Vandris.
going to get our Chinese food.
Yeah, no, go for it. Yeah, just
You would want to roll for Vandris real quick?
Oh boy.
I do not want that responsibility. I got a 16.
Okay.
I similarly got a 16. I don't know what his modifier is, so I can't really roll for him.
I got a 14
I got a natural 1
Okay.
plus.
plus for Constitution saving throw. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
I got a 10.
You got a 10? So, at least for now, we're not sure how Vandris is doing.
He vanished without a trace. I mean,
Yeah.
Sylvie, for the next
He's
minute, you feel incredibly sick. You immediately start
I got a 20.
retching, and you immediately start puking. And you got a 20. So only Sylvie is affected by this, and you immediately start puking. And in case anything happens, the effect would be as if you're poisoned for a minute. So Sylvie basically takes a moment to start puking all over the place.
That's called pulling a Rodek.
I never knew I could puke. The
Disgusting.
the thing that seems to be missing is any kind of skull. Where the head of this dragon would be is empty. There still seems to be flesh, rotting flesh at the
So
base
here.
of it, right there. Rotting flesh at the base of this. There is no skull to be seen at all.
Are there any drag marks in the flesh?
No. It seems to be if this skull was taken, this would not have been at all recent.
Okay.
You see at the very far end a door. Huge stone door. And on the face is marked with intricate designs. The main design at the center, and Ganji, you would recognize this, is the enormous skull of a black dragon on this door. On all of the sides of the temple, you're finally noticing, once you're kind of getting the sense of this the skeleton, that there's actually bas reliefs. There's pictures carved into or chiseled into stone all the way around, basically starting from the base of the tail all the way to the
all the
door.
way through here.
Not the base from there.
Gotcha.
Basically bas reliefs all the way around with markings in them.
I'd like to look at the bas reliefs.
Okay.
If we're not going too far away from the party. So not the ones in the wing chambers, I guess,
Okay.
but the ones closer. See if there's anything that looks interesting or familiar.
So I want you to make an investigation check.
It's gonna be probably a 13.
13.
Yeah.
So you see pictures carved in, symbols carved in, and there seems to be writing in Draconic. You can read it. You can see that it would probably take you to walk the entire length of this temple area around this corpse. But you can tell that it seems to be telling a story of the island that you're on, as well as the creature that lays here, which you are able to make out its name in the very first of these bas reliefs, which is Bokrugul, the Putrid Doom.
Oh,
Okay.
gee.
How do you spell that?
Bokrugul.
The Putrid.
Bokrugul, the Putrid Doom.
Okay.
Ugh.
That sounds bad.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Does it look like they're chronological?
Yes.
And do they start at the door and end all the way around the other side
It
of the door?
seems as if both sides would end, that you would need to go get half and then go get the other half, and then both would kind of, the end would be at the door.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the end to see if it says what happened to the head.
Okay. At the very end, you're able to make out a few of the bas reliefs, and you see a few frames. One is a full black dragon, from your knowledge, I think you would say would probably be about the way that it's depicted would be intended to be an ancient black dragon.
Okay.
But in some kind of rough cave situation with the etchings of tentacles all over, and it seemed to be distressed. And then in the next frame, it has what looks to be some kind of pyramid with a massive skull of the black dragon on top.
Okay. So, it looks like this dragon was killed by... Would it be reasonable for me to think that the tentacles could belong to what people have been calling a kraken? Could I make that assumption?
It seemed to be far more than even the kraken that we fought.
Okay. So it looks like there's something about the sea here that killed this black dragon. You can see on these bas reliefs that something is very powerful around here and killed the dragon and took its head to use as a center for sacrifice or in some way in a temple of some kind.
The dialect that it's written in is an ancient black dragon script. You can make it out, but you probably, for the full story, probably need to make your way around the whole thing and get the full context in order to really kind of to really piece it all together.
So you're telling me that there's something worse here that hunted this thing and killed it?
Yes. An ancient black dragon. Keep in mind.
Have you ever seen anything like this pyramid before?
Have I?
You would recognize that you all would probably actually recognize. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it.
I was gonna say
that if you remember in the ruins of Ninsar in the
Green Dragon.
In the Green Dragon City, there was a very large temple that had been crumbled that was in a similar shape of a pyramid, and it seemed to be similar architecture to Chromatic Dragonborn that you would know. And you're not sure how big the representation of this one would be, but you would get the idea that it was something crafted by Chromatic Dragonborn a very long time ago.
Okay.
Now that's actually a good point. This thing was some sort of a black dragon, you said, correct?
Yes.
Is there any chance that this thing that hunted this black dragon could potentially be on your side, having been fighting against the Chromatic Dragon?
There's no reason I would think that, right? Yeah. They're not... There are more than two sides to any conflict. If war has taught me anything, it's taught me that. And it may be against the Chromatic Dragonflight, but that doesn't mean it's with any of us.
Wishful thinking.
Yes.
Why don't you... Should we take the time so that you can read the rest?
I don't know how relevant it is to us. At least for our present, I would like to read more of it, but for our present purposes, I think the point here is that the head of the dragon was taken a long time ago and does not, as far as I can tell, might not feature in the plans of Deadra and Orpheus.
My concern is that it might tell us something about the tentacle creature that killed it, in case we're about to go face another tentacle creature. How long would it take for it to skim?
For him to go skim quickly and jot it all down, and I would say probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
I don't mind looking for clues while you do that, Genji.
This place smells like shit and puke. I'd rather be moving on.
Is this door shut?
Yes.
I just don't want to go in completely blind here, Matthias.
Right.
I understand your eagerness. I'm eager to face Orpheus as well, but we can't go in unprepared.
I know nothing of Dragon, spending most of my life at sea. However, what I will say is, if there's a mystery to be investigating here, it's why this flesh isn't completely decomposed. If it be killed a long time ago, is this a freshly killed dragon? What be happening here?
It's not freshly killed, I can tell you that much.
Can we tell if the flesh is of this creature, or does it look like flesh from different animals?
Is Sylvie done puking yet?
Yeah, you're done puking. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Make a just general intelligence or no nature check.
No good. 7.
7. It's too hard to tell. It's a lot of gross rotting flesh. It'd be you would imagine it'd probably be hard to get that much from a bunch of different things and just bring it here for some reason.
Can I eyeball it and see if I have a sense of how long ago the thing died based on how much decomposition there's been? What
Make
kind of
just make
a
a nature
decomposition check?
Make a nature check.
Oh yeah, okay. That's where I'm a 4.
You're a pirate. You have no idea.
Let me ring up CSI Avantris and get a time of death for this.
So
Enhance.
Genji is going to go and etch everything down.
Is that what we've agreed?
I'm fine.
I think before we even mess with the door, that's probably what we have to do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Let me start by looking at the door.
Okay.
Just writing on the door, not touching it.
I want you to make a quick perception check and an investigation check.
Okay. Perception check sucks. Investigation check is better. Perception check is going to be a 6.
Okay.
Investigation check is going to be a 15.
15. Okay. Good. So you make
focus on the door.
you make your way around.
Sorry, perception check is 7. So I did up like this.
You make your way around the bas relief, and it seems to tell the story of the death of Balkrugul, the Putrid Doom. Tells of the great Isle Fortress of Nurg, N-U-R-G, in common, which was thought to be impenetrable. It was the glory and the pride of the Black Dragonborn in the time of the Black Dragonborn Empire. It was their most glorious and mighty of all of their fortresses. They were led by Balkrugul, the Putrid Doom, an ancient black dragon, probably the largest and most vicious and malevolent in recorded history. Their admiral was equipped with a helmet called the Eyes of the Abyss, and in the bas relief you can see a depiction of the helmet that Deidre used.
Okay.
And with the 4 gems.
What about the Abyss? What's
the
it
Eyes
called?
of the Abyss.
Eyes of the Abyss.
Helmet. In order to call forth dragon turtles, wiping out entire navies, bringing that coin and prey for their great leader. However, time went on, and a bronze dragonborn navy, led by a particularly brash and powerful bronze dragon, a female one named, what's her name? Kalidomi, the Rising Tide, had managed to actually slay many of the dragon turtles and was making their way.
Who is this?
A bronze dragonborn navy fleet.
Kalidomi?
Kalidomi. C-A-L-Y-D-O-M-I.
Okay.
The Rising Tide, killing many dragonborn, killing many of their ships, and many dragon turtles. The dragonborn leadership was absolutely desperate, and Balkrugul even more so. This was when a religious fanatic named Malkazine came and offered him great power, strong enough to stop Kalidomi and the fleet that was coming very quickly. And as long as he agreed to meet his religious sect at the cove that they had secretly been hiding in and made their home. Then the next depiction shows a very similar image of the huge black dragon with all of the tentacles. And it says, no one has ever spoken of the horrific horrors that beset upon Balkrugul that day. But it left him without a head and eternally rotting in his tomb. However, then while that was happening, the Black Admiral who had wielded the helm was betrayed, murdered by cult infiltrators within their army. The helm was stolen. However, it was too late for the cult. Kalidomi and the Bronze Dragonborn Navy smashed the fortress, slaughtering countless numbers and retrieving the helm before it could return to this cave. Lost forever. The surviving members of this cult, Malkazine included, spent the rest of their lives building a temple around the remains of him, and hold on, and finally sacrificing themselves so that they could eternally protect the tomb of Bakragul and prepare for the time when someone would, and this is where you actually notice that the story doesn't end on the sides, but you notice that upside down in the door is another image. And it finishes. Then until they can finish their work until someone would answer the whispers and bring about the return of the primeval one. And upside down is an image of some mass with 3 huge eyes.
And there's no 3 huge eyes is all we can tell of it.
Was Malkazine, was he a Dragonborn as well?
So, I would assume I would have at least heard of the Bronze Dragonborn
Yes.
part of this. So,
Yes.
how much of this checks out with what I know?
Make a history check.
Okay. 21.
21. You remember from history that the name of Bakragul sounds familiar. You remember him as a ruthless leader that was defeated in combat when Kalidomi forced him out of his lair and beat him in one-on-one combat.
Okay. So part of this is new.
Yeah. And you've heard nothing of such a cult.
Right. And I have heard of like at least the Bronze Dragonborn fleet.
Yes.
But not of anything of like they. Presumably, I would have heard that they bested the fleet of the Dragonborn of the Black Dragonborn.
And then that was one of the one of the keystones of defeating the Black Dragonborn Empire, portion of the Chromatic Empire, which then kind of was one other step in pushing the entire conflict south to Nectar.
Does it say how they sacrificed themselves?
So this is a lot to unpack. Not only do we potentially have to face Orpheus and Deandra, but there could be potentially any leftover protectors that Ganji had mentioned.
And they're probably not going to be my biggest fan. I'm just saying.
Do we think that they'd be undead? How would they still be alive?
Undead, probably, yes, if they sacrificed themselves.
And have you seen anything like this creature here? And I point at the big mass with the eyes.
I don't think I have. Well, actually, have I? That's a good question.
Make an intelligence check.
20.
You do.
Oh!
You recognize this same similar eye pattern in the mad scrawlings of Deandra in the Church of Umberley, in that back office. They were in red and belonged to horrific eel fish-like creatures with 3 huge red glowing eyes.
Oh, each eel had 3 eyes?
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3 across the face?
1, 2, 3. Vertically.
Oh.
Up its
Ooh.
face.
Well,
I think it's safe to say at this point that she's a part of the same cult as these Black Dragonborn.
it would seem so.
She's taking up the cause.
What is this about Adelaide? I was not paying attention. I sort of zoned out there for a minute.
You'll have to wait until we release our book afterwards. Let's go. Alright,
Have I enjoyed the benefits of a long rest yet?
okay, so door. Is there anything indicating that it's locked or trapped in the writings?
As far as the door goes, no.
Okay.
Does it have handles?
I look at Ganji and I say, if you want me to take care of that door, you just let me know.
I think you should take care of that door.
I wave him up.
Good luck.
Do you have some sort of special door skill? What be this magic?
He has advantage against
Usually,
doors.
what'll happen is I'm awfully perceptive. I like to think I'm pretty dexterous with my hands. I'll often be the one to look for traps, often triggering them, nearly killing myself, and allowing the rest of the group to go through safely.
He's very good at checking for traps and Vandrasing and saying, hey, there are no traps.
Be my guest.
Okay, so I crack my knuckles and I step up to the door and I turn back and I say, Ganji, are you sure? Because I'm going to try.
No, I've not seen anything to not, but how about you have some guidance on your quest to not die to a door? So you have
Here
guidance.
we go. Okay, so,
Extra-
first things first.
Extra 1d4.
I would like to check the door for physical and mechanical traps.
And just real quick, while he's doing this, I'm just like, when I heard about the protectors, I just want to kind of like look around at the bones to see if there's any like sign of anything, kind of anything suspicious.
Okay. You make an investigation check while you roll, Vandris.
I put on my eyes of minute seeing.
Yes, minute same.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I rolled a 25.
You are slowly examining, you haven't touched it yet, but you can get the sense that through some of the carvings that there does seem to be some kind of mechanical trap.
I turn back to the rest of the group and say, oh yeah, there's something here. Is there any kind of a keyhole that I can see?
There's no keyhole, but with that investigation you can see that there is small slits along the side, and you can see that there seems to be some kind of tiny hole carved up into the top of this door where you get the sense that something might spray out.
Okay, we definitely don't want to touch this door. There's
I've
some sort
played.
of potential.
I've played Skyrim. There's a little thing on the ground in front of the door, and all those little poison needles shoot out at you. Okay.
What be this Skyrim?
From my investigation check, is there anything else that I can infer about how to disarm it? Or is it all completely sealed behind stone?
You get the sense that if you get the sense with, I'd say with that investigation score and your knowledge, you would be able to, if you were very careful and get your tools inside each slat, you could probably disconnect whatever mechanism is funneling, fueling this thing. If you were good enough.
You know I gotta try.
Well, why don't you have some more guidance? Cause fuck this.
But before you try, is there any way that we can push something up into that gap there to prevent anything? Should you not be successful in your efforts?
We could try, but
How high is it?
It's probably like, I don't know, 7 feet up.
I'm like, yeah, I could touch that with my hands, so I'll just. Can I
This
just?
is like a really narrow.
Can I just
Question.
Can I just stuff something
Does-
up there with
does
my
the-
thumb?
I wouldn't have any chewing gum.
Does the immovable rod fit in it?
I wouldn't even get near it or touch the door, honestly,
Yeah,
in my
that's-
expert opinion.
I think that's
If
fine.
you'd like to try, you're undead. I don't know what'll happen.
Please go ahead and disarm the trap. I withdraw my offer.
I just don't want anyone to die needlessly, except for perhaps maybe me.
That's what I'm trying to attempt here.
Are we sure this is the only trap?
Vandris was able to deduce that the mechanism would probably funnel the one trap. He had his eyes of minute seeing on it. He's pretty sure.
You said mechanical traps only, though. Like
Correct.
magical
Oh.
traps are another thing, right?
Correct.
So can I look for magical traps?
Make an Arcana check.
I'm
No, investigation check. That's another investigation.
And other investigations. Oh, that's where I'm a Viking. 14.
Doesn't seem to be any mechanical.
We're good. We're fine. It's fine.
I've said that before, Matthias.
Good luck, lad.
And you're still alive so far.
So roll a dex check, add your proficiency.
And what does guidance give me?
An extra 1d4.
I'll stand back.
Just a straight dex check?
Yep. Plus your proficiency, plus your dex mod.
Hot diggy dog. That's a 22.
22. You are very, very carefully working your thieves' tools into either side until you hear a and you feel a severing. And as you pull your tools out, you see what looks to be acid dripping down on the side. And then you do the same thing again, and then acid seems to be dropping down
Hey,
on the side.
Rodek, you're good at stone things. Do these look newly cut?
Fair point.
Make
Let me look.
an intelligence check, right? Or
yeah.
history check.
It's history. And I think I am advantage, and I add double, or I just add, whatever. I'll roll one die.
I turn to the rest of the group and I say, are we all going to just pretend like that wasn't the first time I succeeded?
16. Good job, lad. You did it.
For me, it was.
I expected nothing less from you.
So you are looking at this. This stonework seems to be incredibly ancient.
Okay.
It reminds you of about how old the ruins of Ninsar were. The
Okay.
pre-dragon.
So it's like super, super old.
It's very old. It's from the same time period that probably Ganji was talking about.
Right. Okay.
As you are busy celebrating, however, a new voice enters the chamber. Who dares? This would be in Draconic, so only Ganji would know. Who dares enter the tomb of Bokrugul? And shimmering all around the room now are spectral, ghostly forms of Dragonborn.
It's like while I'm investigating, I hear like, and he like
Yep.
comes right in front of me.
Yeah, something like that.
I draw my cutlass.
Yeah, I immediately.
And
What
these
kind of outfits are they wearing?
So they are wearing different outfits. There was one who is at the head. He is the one that you could tell spoke. He is wearing very ornate robes and a hood over his head, a black hood with 3 red orbs on going up the top. You see that there are 2 more green dragonborn. These are wearing robes but not nearly as ornate and not a hood, and they seem to be more like acolyte looking, priestly looking ones. And then there are 3 in the back that seem to be heavily armored with a huge shield, same symbol of the 3 eyes on each of their shields. There are 3 of them.
Can I use my reaction to give Bardic Inspiration?
I mean, combat hasn't started. They haven't attacked
That's
you.
okay. I'd still like to do
Yeah,
it.
you can use it.
So I'm going to use my reaction to give Avantris Bardic Inspiration. There once was a rogue from Gullhaven. His cloak turns him into a raven. I guess it's a bat, but who cares about that? Drop into some cultists and slay them.
That actually reminds me, I should have said this at the beginning, that's amazing.
I'm so inspired!
While
So do you
Vandus is feeling inspired, you all have literal DM inspiration.
Yay.
Last session, you guys did so much stuff. Annulin for the vulture stuff, Matthias for almost getting everyone killed, Ganji for saving them from getting killed, Rodette for being Sir Robin, Sylvie for her bard stuff, and then Vandus for his daring escape. It was all just, everyone did really well.
Yay!
Hey.
So, you see these, did I math that up to 6? 6 figures, spectral figures, Dragonborn, Black Dragonborn, standing. The one who is wearing the hood is looking at all of you. And
Where are they?
they are, so,
Is this to scale? I don't know how to scale this.
I mean, it's not that to scale, but I'll just give you kind of an idea. So, like, you guys are all celebrating here. You went back. They went here. And they're basically, I'll say that, each here, ghost.
Do they look corporeal at all, or are they just clearly like see-through ghosts?
They are...
Like compared to him.
Compared to my crew.
So
So like how physical do they look?
they seem to be about as ghostly as Matthias' crew.
Okay, but not
But
Matthias, because Matthias is like a person just.
Matthias is a
undead.
revenant.
Right.
He's not
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
He's
there you
he's technically undead, but he's still basically himself, but just raised from the dead. He's not a ghost alive.
So I'm holding my axe on guard. Does it look like they're attacking at all?
Nope, they're just standing there. The one in the center is looking all of you. He's looking impatient, and I say, "I repeat, who dares enter the tomb of?"
What are they
Bokrugul?"
saying?
I'm trying to think of what to say back to him, and I'm dropping the spaghetti.
Just don't mention vegetables.
Yeah.
Who be you, dragon folk?
I gotta go.
The problem is if I like draw attention to myself, they're probably not going to be a fan. But I say something along the lines of, We're here to fucking murder you, you assholes. But not actually.
Oh god.
We
We
heard.
still have no idea what they're saying, right?
No.
They're speaking.
I reply in Draconic. We've heard that there are outsiders trying to defile this shrine, and we've come to put the defilement to an end. Because that's kind of true.
The Blue One came to finish our work. Do you mean you intend to stop her work?
Yeah, I fucking do.
Roll for initiative. He immediately gets
Sorry.
a look
Okay.
of absolute rage, and he says to you in Draconic, "You have not heard the whispers. You must die." And then with that,
We'll see about that.
we're gonna
You
switch.
have to put yours with mine. We literally both got natural 20.
You know, if
You
wanna
guys
get a
wasted
natural
natural
20.
20s. You go to the beginning of time.
You start a new universe.
Yeah.
The Silvers, we'll call it. What a wacky, strange
No,
place
it's
that
the
would be.
Sanji.
It's the
Silly
glitter bubble.
Ganji.
Yeah.
It's the
So-
glitter bubble.
Yeah.
You know, universes are bubbles. That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson says.
Oh.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know shit.
What is he, a scientist?
No. He's like a fake scientist.
He's an astronomist.
Yeah.
Bet he's not a realtor like Lumi.
Okay.
I like Neil
It's her
deGrasse
one
Tyson.
dream.
He's
It's like one dream to be a realtor.
Okay. I'm just rolling initiative for my guys real quick.
I guess that's
No.
fine.
Can we place ourselves as we would have been? Like,
Yeah,
when
you
it
can
jumped
place
out?
yourselves how you want, guys. And then I'll.
Shit, I rolled a 2.
I'm gonna say I stepped forward to talk to them.
You
Yeah, you
have
would've been
don't
forward,
forget
right?
don't forget about are you if you
Yeah,
the
that,
head
that makes it a 10.
great. That's not a 2. He would have been next to the door. Is the thing.
No, but then
he
he,
just
then he came back to
he
tell
came
us.
back?
Yeah, it was good.
I did everything, all the work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 20 to 25.
23.
25.
21.
Holy shit.
20. Hey, we're
20
fast.
21. Matthias with me this great card here.
I rolled a 17. So fuck y'all.
What do you get something?
I
23?
was 23.
Oh my god.
Is there any chance you could try and put them on like the front? so
Yeah,
that
sorry.
Oh yeah. So those three we can see.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sylvie in
Andy,
front
Sylvie.
of Sylvie in front of Genji actually. I was 21.
And
21.
Roderick was 20.
No, that was 20.
Ooh, some tight quarters, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
Anglin and Vanders, what did you get?
12.
I got a 10.
Wow.
Nice.
Well,
You're not poisoned.
No. No, he said that.
Just check.
Do you mind if I announce to them because they won't be able to see your DM screen when they're up next?
yeah.
You mind?
No, I don't mind. No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Like X on deck or whatever.
Okay. With that, it's a full round of combat. They are looking like they're ready to strike. Matthias, you're up.
Oh yeah. Shit.
Fuck him up!
The borders of the flesh creature here. I can walk like this, right? Like
No, the temple is built in. We'll say it's a little. It's not entirely to
yeah,
scale.
but I can
but-
squeeze past
yeah,
here
you
and
can
make
squeeze
it
past,
over.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna squeeze past here and engage number 2,
Okay.
and I'm going to roll for an attack,
Okay.
and I'm going to attack him with a 20 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
And do I do my second attack action before I roll all the damage, or do I do them one at a time? I think it's.
You can do both at the same time.
Okay, I'll do, and then the next one's higher, so
That
that
hits.
hits. That's gonna be.
To number one. To number 2.
Yes. He gets hit twice, once for 8 slashing, and I do not have advantage, but no other creatures are within 5 feet, so I get sneak attack. That'll be 8 plus 4 is, I can do this, 12, 16 for the first one, and then nice 8, 13, 17 for the second one.
So 17 plus 16.
Exactly right, and then I
Jesus.
will take my bonus action to disengage means I can just drop back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just drop back.
Okay. You, as one of the phantom armored warriors is looking like he's ready to strike, you whip around Avantris and swing your cutlass twice. Its magical blade tearing through, slashing ectoplasm everywhere. It seems to be pretty wounded. Sylvia, you're up.
I'm going to cast Hex on the guy that's right in front of you, Derek. One of the blue guys. That guy. What's his number?
One.
Yeah,
Number
1
1.
and 3 over here.
And I'm going to cast that out of my ring.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Channel your ring with Power Titania comes out and hexes him.
Well, Avantris on the first bolt.
Okay.
So,
It smashes into one of the ribs.
and then 19 for the second bolt.
The Van Miss.
Van Miss. Hey.
17 points of damage.
17 points of damage, number 1. One of your blasts smashed in the side of one of the ribs, but your second one managed to find its way into the spectral body. It seems to do its full damage, sending ectoplasm flying. Gandry, you're up.
Alright, so I'm going to use one of my things to turn undead. / destroy undead if any of them are CR low enough.
Nice.
So they're all within 30 feet, right? So they all do a wisdom saving throw.
No, wait, don't.
DC 15.
It's just the
Number
guy
1
at the end of
fails.
fucking Indiana Jones where his
Wisdom?
face melts off.
Yeah.
Number 2 fails.
Okay.
Number 3 fails. Okay, get on to the ghosts. Number 1 succeeds. Number 2 succeeds. Not
Okay.
getting on the main dude. He succeeds.
Okay, so the 3 guys have to can only run away from me unless they're CR1 or lower, in which case they're instantly destroyed.
Okay. As your holy symbol of Bahamut shines brightly, the entire cavern and temple is radiating with its platinum light. The 3 in front of you seem like they're bothered by it, but they manage to resist it. The other 3 with the swords and the shields are horrified. They're running in the other direction.
That's these 3 here in the front.
They're fine.
They're fine.
So they succeeded, they all failed?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Good for them.
Okay.
There's one.
So I just gotta run away.
Yep.
Okay. You guys get the full fucking basically surprise. Oh god! Oh, it's Bahamut! We don't like that guy.
Oh no!
We can't understand any of this.
Yeah.
I'm just delighting in their shrieks of terror.
Okay, they are scared, spooked dragonborn ghosts. Rodek, you're up.
I would like to, seeing them run away,
Alan,
I'm like,
you're up next.
I see what's going up. Yeah, Annulin's on deck.
There you go.
I'm gonna walk up here, and wait. So what are these guys?
Ghosts.
Old ghost actor.
They're like they're cultists, like acolyte guys,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
They're like, man, ghosts.
They're like that.
Ghosts.
I'm gonna attack once and make it a power attack.
Okay.
18. 13.
13 to hit. That hits.
Oh, good.
Nuts.
Okay, I'm in Cremmy mode for some reason. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 damage.
You swing your axe in, and similar to other undead that you fought, it's not cleaving through.
Oh,
nearly
add 10 to that. Sorry.
10 damage.
So it's 10. What did I say? I rolled a
Six,
9,
seven,
10, 11, 12, 13,
14.
14. 24 damage.
24 damage. So that's 12 damage. It does not seem to cut through as deftly as Matthias' cutlass
Sounds
does.
like they're resistant.
I'll do another power attack.
14.
And that's higher, so I hit. That's 12 plus, so 17, 27 damage.
27 damage, eh?
27 damage.
Okay.
So half of that is
13.
13.
Thank you. You swing your axe back around, managing to easily find purchase onto its body and cleaving off bits of ectoplasm, but it is, once again, does not seem to do that nearly as much damage as you were hoping. Annulan, you're up.
Alright, so seeing the guy fleeing, I'm gonna take a few steps forward just to get around the kind of armpit of that wing.
Like this way?
Yeah, and
Okay.
then I am going to cast my Hunter's Mark on, I don't know what the number is.
Number 1.
Number
This
one.
is
No,
the
the
this-
guy who's in the wing tip.
Oh, this guy.
Just so you know, it does break if they get hit.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
And anyone would know that, right?
We've done it
Do
Do
before.
I repeat my save at the end of the turn?
No.
Oh.
They're just turned for a minute.
Okay, well.
Man, that's beautiful.
Doesn't even cost a long rest resource.
Do you know the ones
These
in-
guys are unharmed and
Yeah.
threatening.
Any of
This
these
guy
things-
is harmed.
Yes.
I just attacked number 2. He's like a Roby cultist. There's 1 and 2. This is the main guy. This is Malkazar. Malkazine.
We think.
We think. And then these are the big shieldy guys.
Okay. Whatever the one is that you pointed to first that was harmed.
2.
Yeah.
So your
I'll
hunter's
put
mark.
My mark.
Channel your primal hunter's magic onto him.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to set the skull. I forgot to mark the CCs. So that people
Oh
can
yeah,
mark
you
the
did
figures.
skull and exit or whatever.
Yeah. Like in the
Oh, we have to.
Oh, sound effects.
I am not shooting you. I just got 2 natural 20s for my 2 attack rolls.
Hey!
Double crits!
Man, that's 420s tonight. Let's
So,
keep it up.
we're just going to
Hashtag
resolve.
420 blaze it.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
we're going to count those as your attacks, but let's resolve the damage first on number 2.
Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, so how does that work? I don't.
You just roll double the amount of dice, then add the modifier.
So you roll 2. So for the first attack, it'd be 2d8 and 2d6.
If I'm using the, classes select, so like my normal roll would have been 2d8 and a.
Okay, so you roll 4d8 and 2d6
Holy shit!
plus 5.
The arrow
Or-
goes in and then continues weaving in and out of the person, just tearing him into shreds.
In and through the ghost. Yeah, class.
A little piece of bone falls through the ghost in the middle of the ghost as your arrow goes through, and it hits the bone, and both of them just explode
I love it.
inside the ghost.
Absolutely. And this ghost is toast.
Wow, that's good. That's real good. That's real good.
Sewing machine, that's good.
This
Like,
stream sponsored by Giant Brand Seltzer. 56 cents.
What's that? A cease and desist?
I said cease and desist.
We're gonna get taken down.
And it's
so.
59 cents.
59
It's
cents,
not
sorry.
that good of a deal.
This-
The first one's 22 after all that. That was not great.
That's not bad.
48, you got 22.
Underwhelming.
Brutal.
So that's. Oh. And you fire your arrow into the first ghost, and although it seems to be hit similarly to Rodek's axe and doesn't do as much, it seems to be enough to completely disperse after the attacks that it had already taken.
She's
It's
still
taking
rolling,
attacks, right?
she's still
Yeah.
rolling a
Oh,
second
yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
We Rodek wailed on it.
You're still
Yeah.
rolling a second attack, right?
Yeah.
She still got the crit on the second
It's
attack,
dead.
I think.
So that would be 1. Would you attack 1 instead?
But that one wouldn't be with Colossus Slayer because it hasn't.
Right.
Or how?
Oh wait, hold on. I did the wrong math one. It's not dead.
Okay.
Attack again. Sorry.
All right. So
He's trying to kill his NPCs again.
Yeah, I'm doing that these days.
It's easy to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 29.
29 damage.
Yes.
That. So the second one, both, although your arrows are not magical, your bow is not magical, and it is not doing as much, it is enough to completely disperse this ghost. So both attacks, both crits were crucial for killing this ghost. Okay.
I'm going to use the rest of my movement to move back towards the tail.
Okay.
Are they leaving a corpse? Like a ghost corpse?
No, they're dispersing, so you can get them off the table.
Ghost corpse.
Okay. And
Of
let's move back to the table. Vanish, you're up.
All right. So I am going to. Oh shit. Mother pearl. Yeah, I have really no choice there. So that's fine, I suppose.
Remember, you don't need to be flanking someone for sneak
Yeah.
attack.
The problem is that other guy's within 5 feet.
No, it's within 5 feet of you.
He's looking for the fancy footwork version of this. My version of sneak attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If other enemies or creatures are within a range.
He's not within 5 feet. He's back up against the door.
This guy's not within 5 feet. You can enjoy sneak attack.
All right, then I'm gonna attack that guy.
Okay.
That would be optimal.
28.
28 hits.
So we can't be either of you.
You know, you get it both ways when you do it the way I did it, because you can, if another enemy is within 5 feet, then you get sneak attack. But if no other creatures are within 5 feet, you get sneak attack.
Okay.
23 points of damage.
23 points of damage. As opposed to Anilin and Rodek, Venom Spine cuts through these spectral forms effortlessly, just like Matthias's cutlass, and it lets out this ghostly roar. And it's looking, if it could bleed, it probably might be.
Aha! I'm getting better at this, Matthias.
Aye.
Monsters,
Talk to me.
Yup.
monsters too. So that would be our big bad. So
I'm never two. I'm never two.
hold on.
Second breakfast.
Ouch.
Oucha.
Oucha.
This horrific cultist is going to hover through to Rodek after seeing him cut. Actually, no, he's going to hover through Ganji because he's the bronze dragonborn, and he is going to. Although you're standing and
I
holding,
use my reaction to make an opportunity attack.
you can't make an opportunity attack.
Sentinel.
Fuck.
20.
It was like multiple guys.
Level 8. Got it.
Why not both?
Got it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage.
So.
And he stops moving, right? Does he stop moving?
Oh,
Hit him with
shit.
an opportunity attack?
Hold on.
That's bullshit if that's true.
That might be just a general
When
rule.
opportunity attack hits, speed becomes 0. Yeah, his speed's now 0.
You can't reach me.
Where you going?
You can attack me.
So, you know what? Fuck you. So he's looking like he's trying to get into Ganji's space and go into his body. And Rodek says, "Not today!" and swings his axe, and the force, even though this is a floating ghost, the force of his axe is enough to cause it to falter. And he's going to turn angrily at Rodek and slash him twice.
And suck out my soul.
Well, you can't move on your square either.
Rock fall.
Oh, true, yeah.
So, 2 attacks on Rodek. What's your AC, Rodek, again?
18.
Both hit.
I'm so sorry.
That's alright. And these are not weapons, right? These will do full damage.
He's just clammy hands.
Yeah.
Like, not physical weapons.
He picks up a couple of the bones and is whacking with them.
She's just rubbing the flesh all
It's like a
over you.
Cubone, like.
Yeah.
That'd probably be worse, to be
Yeah.
honest. Ugh.
25 points of necrotic damage.
Dang.
Oh, shit.
So his spectral claws rend your flesh. Doing 25 points of necrotic damage, make a wisdom saving throw.
That's where I'm, what is it?
Viking.
Viking. Should I use inspiration?
Yeah?
I mean, nah.
Nah, 8.
8. The being rended so horrifically has, although you stopped him, there is a horrific fear in your soul. You are now feared until the end of your next turn, and you have 0 speed. You are huddling, clenching your axe.
So basically the two of you are just huddling together.
Yep,
Okay.
basically. Monsters 3 turn, which is our friends the ghost. Number 1 is going to look at Vanders that just cut through him and is going to attempt to go through Vanders' mouth, and we'll see what happens. Can you
No,
please?
I say no.
Can you make a charisma saving throw?
I would love to make a charisma saving throw.
By saying the word no, you make a open O shape. You don't say anything. Just don't. Shh.
I just.
That's my opening.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're proficient, aren't you?
Unless you're proficient.
I don't know if rogues are proficient.
And you have Bardic Inspiration. Don't forget, it's a 1d6.
I was to ask you how that actually works.
You have it for 10 minutes, so you can use it.
I'm gonna use the bardic inspiration as well.
Okay.
You gotta start shaking your die on camera, dude.
Totals of 16.
16. you can feel the ghost attempt to enter your body and control you and possess you, but you manage to, through your sheer will, force this ghost out, and
Thank you, Sylvie.
Woo!
Yeah, nice.
that's its turn. And the other one's dead, right?
Yep.
So why do we even do this? Matthias. Matthias, you're up.
Aye!
I'll run, seeing that,
Do we have a...
I'm gonna go, are these 5 feet squares or 10 feet squares? 10 feet or 5 feet? 5?
Just see the level 8.
5,
The description, the word.
12.5, I need to look up something very quickly
You're not coming into my mouth.
because you're not coming in my mouth. What?
Remember, he's feared, so if you hit him, he's going to be unfeared.
Yeah.
He's gonna immediately come into your mouth.
Well, we gotta kill them before they come in our mouths.
I don't like the button to the side.
I don't know where it's
How does
Man,
fucking
read it.
where is it? It's right here.
Maybe later.
Was it it's an action. All right. I didn't move to this square. I moved here, and I'll fucking. You can't heal because you're necrotic.
You can get up next time on the next damage.
You can heal necrotic damage, right?
No, that's
Okay.
the ceiling of your max HP comes down.
No, that's an normal.
That's 3. That's 3.
That's the
Oh,
real
is
rule,
it?
man.
Okay.
That's got to be how necrotic works.
Is it?
Why would?
Okay.
Anyways. Can I just immediately jump over here just attack 2?
Yeah.
All right. I apologize for retconning that turn, but I thought I could do 2 things at once, and I can't. I'll just attack him twice. That's a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh.
And that's a 14, which I
Okay.
know hit earlier, so we're gonna
You
do.
did not hit on the second one.
It is
No. It's 14 plus 6 is 20.
Oh, yeah.
I
So yeah.
rolled a 14.
Yeah, so roll the
the
full
last
damage on him.
Yeah. So that'll be.
Please let them drop 200 gold pieces when they die.
10, 12, 15. That was 4. So that was. And then 7. 15. 19. 22. 25. 25 and
What's
15.
happening right now?
Sorry, 25 and 15. So, as the amount of damage that I did.
So that's 40. 40. Okay.
Apologies, I was mathing.
So to number, was he already attacked? Number 2?
Yeah, number 2 was the one that I attacked originally.
Okay. You cleave him twice with your cutlass, and he completely disperses
That was my hope.
into the ether.
Wow, nice.
And with that, your turn's up.
Yeah.
Okay, Sylvie.
If I move to the side, would I be able to fire at the one on Rodak? Mike?
What was that?
If I move over towards me, would I be able to hit the one on Rodak
Yeah.
between? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
No, not the first hit.
Blast off inside of the temple.
18.
18 does hit.
You've gotten Spyrotrons.
7 damage.
7 damage. Oh, very nice. Your Eldritch Blast hits him in the chest. He stumbles back, but it's not doing that much. Okay. Ganji, you're up.
Alright, so I'm gonna step up here. I'm gonna hit number 1.
Okay.
Green one or blue one?
Green, little guy.
Little guy Joe.
And he's already taken damage as well. God, you've been...
Yeah, so that's 12 is what? It's 18 to hit?
Hits.
Should hit. So that's gonna be, and these are undead, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. So that's gonna be 2 plus 3 is 5 normal damage and then 9 radiant damage.
Okay.
And if he's below 25 HP, he dies. Or he has to make a save
Hell
to die.
yeah.
Save versus death.
What do you say, 5 plus what?
5
Radiant.
normal and 9 radiant.
Oh.
Okay, hold on real quick. Below 25 HP, what's the save?
DC 15 Wisdom.
You grab Malleus Maleficarum. Rather than platinum light, it's that same golden glowing light that illuminates the cavern, and you smash into it, and the metal of your warhammer, beyond the glowing radiant aura of this, smashes through the ectoplasm, and although it doesn't seem to immediately disperse it, the light left in this spectral wound parses through him and explodes out, dispersing the ghost.
Okay, so bonus attack against big guy.
Okay.
He's dispersed.
Oh, disperse, yeah.
You swing it back around into the head type figure.
Okay, I'm going to use my other thing to add 10 to that. So that's going to be a 19 to hit.
19 to hit, that is going to hit.
Okay, so now I'm going to do 7 plus 3 is 10 normal damage, and then this guy plus these two guys. So I'm going to use my Divine Strike on this guy. So that's going to be 14 radiant damage and 10 normal damage.
Total. 14 and 10, so...
And there again, if he's below 25 HP,
Okay.
you have to do
You
save.
swing back around, smashing into this hooded figure. He lets out a hiss at you as his ghastly form is seemingly being singed by this radiant light. But it is, he does not have to make a save.
Okay.
Okay. Monsters 1. I don't have to make a save, they're just feared?
They're just
They're just scared shitless, man.
Yep.
Rodek, you're up.
It's ironic.
I know.
You're feared, so.
I am going to. So in the damage text, it doesn't say that it reduces my max HP.
No, it's not. That's not. That's an old thing. It just acts as this, if it's released to or weak.
I will
It's like Pokemon's.
use. I'm going to use Second Wind,
Okay.
and then I'll decide what I want to do after I use that.
Aren't you feared?
Yeah, it just means I'm disadvantaged and I can't move closer to him.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's actually 13 now.
You channel your dwarven vitality,
So-
super advanced dwarven vitality, and heal.
And then what I will do, let me show
Okay.
that down.
It's the dwarf broth.
The dwarf brawl.
brawl.
Now, you know who is also a dwarf, Anders.
I'm going to attack disadvantaged against that guy,
Okay.
even though I'm scared shitless.
The Sam Riegel technique. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, I'll make it a precision attack. Why not? 13, 14, 15, 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
To hit.
To hit, that hits.
I don't know why I wasted that if it's weak, but... I rerolled 2s. 10, it's better. 15.
15 damage?
Yeah.
So that'd be 7.
Great weapon fighting. Great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Although you're definitely afraid of this guy, you manage to hit and hacking through just a little bit. I'm not doing that much damage to him. And, I forgot to mention when Matthias, when you sliced this ghost, similar to the human, his entire form
Wow.
got sucked up by the eye of your...
As is tradition.
As is tradition. So,
Thank you. Yeah.
Even ghosts.
anyway.
That's awesome. I'm a big fan of that.
Alright. I'm gonna run back kind of towards the other set of ribcage.
Yep.
And transfer my mark to the big dude.
Okay. Let's transfer to the big dude.
And I'll make a arrow attack on him.
Okay.
21 to hit.
Hits.
Because it's different than what Hex does.
I love that while we're fighting, there's a ghostly mariachi band in the back.
Sylvie polymorphs
Kremmy
herself
used
to
his,
Sylvie with a cup.
Kremmy used his horrible tentacle thing. And then he started playing.
Hunger of Hadar.
Hunger of Hadar.
It's 24 damage.
24 damage total? Okay.
Yeah, that was just one attack.
Okay.
I'm playing it by ear.
Okay, that's fine. You shoot an arrow, it manages to sink in, doing some damage, but not a ton.
Okay, I'm gonna follow it up with a second attack.
Okay.
Natty 20.
Oh my
Hey.
gosh.
What is up tonight?
It's a reverse Vandris. It's an annulant.
It's the basement.
Those are really nice Avantris's you're rolling.
Well,
Nope, that's not gonna happen.
Stop trying to make that a thing.
it's because we're finally playing D&D where it was meant to be played, which is
In a
In
basement.
a basement, yeah.
You're right.
Oh my god. We're finally in a basement, guys.
2.5 years. 2.5 years, guys.
That's 20 damage.
20 damage. Okay.
There's no sun down here to affect the roll.
That's an amazing amount of Vandris damage you did, Daniel.
Stop trying to make it a thing.
that is a bit
The
just like
second
amount
arrow
of damage.
is sinking in, both shoot through, clattering to the wall, but still having pierced through this ghost. Vanish, you're up.
Hooray!
Yippee-ki-yay!
Let's see here. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna attack the one that's in front of Ganji and Rodek.
Okay. You have to move
13.
a little bit. What is it?
I rolled a 13.
That will never
Barely misses.
Damn it.
You run up and swing, but it managed to barely dodge out of the way, despite it being in place. And now it can move. It can.
Yes, it can move.
Big
yeah.
Okay, Big Monster 3 is gone. Big Bad can move, so he is going to go into Ganji's space. Right.
Is he moving?
He's moving, but he's not. He's just not. He's been in range of you.
Okay.
He's going to go onto your space, and he's going to claw Ganji, now turning his focus on the Dragonborn that basically said, "Oh my god."
I told him to go fuck himself.
Double Vandris.
In those words, in Draconic.
Despite him looming over you, his form on top of you slicing, you managed to block both of them.
21 AC!
Wait, can we? Is he inside Ganji?
He's on Ganji's space, so he's like above it. Like,
Can one of them hit so that I can use the Sentinel to make an opportunity attack at Ganji?
No.
sorry.
Shit.
With that, it's Matthias' turn.
I got him.
Matthias.
Matthias, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, what am I gonna do? I don't know. I just walk over here and try to hit the monster on Ganji?
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
That'll be 2 attack rolls. Let's see
Please
how I
hit
do.
Ganji, please.
Only if he rolls a bandit.
21.
Okay.
And woo, that was a close one. That'll be an 8. So just the one.
8 misses, and you're narrowly. He's still hovering above Ganji a little bit. His lower half is inside, but you're able to find some body to hit.
Somebody
Somebody to hit.
I
I
stopped
do
it.
not get sneak attack, so it's just bread and
There
butter.
you go.
No, why?
He's flanked.
Normal sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
Jesus, wow. Normal sneak attack is how pedestrian.
Shitty normal road.
6, 11, 15 points of damage, son.
Yeah. Okay. It's riding around. Your first attack misses, but your second one is like kind of like swatting a fly as he's hovering, and you manage to hack off a piece of your magical weapon, doing a good amount of damage to him. Sylvia, you're up.
Good
Shelby.
Dragonborn.
This guy's tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to hit him with Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
18 and a lot more than 18.
Hits.
Yay.
My favorite number actually is a lot more than 18.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a great favorite
so
number.
one is 14 and another one is 7.
So, 14.
So whatever that is, because I don't like
21?
to count.
21?
Yeah. 14 plus 7, yeah, it's 21.
If my
7
higher,
times 3.
my higher level math is correct.
You
Hey, take
you also are kind of trying to make sure you don't blast Ganji's face off. 2 arcs of Eldritch Blast hit him on either side. He is looking weak. His transparency is starting to shimmer and fade. He's kind of blinking in and out of existence.
Alright. I'm going to attack him. $13 plus 19 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. So, we'll do that guy. So, 10 normal. 8 radiant.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Jeez. Can I grab him?
Sure.
Like,
I want to
think you're
grab
not
him,
real?
drag his face to mine, and say, "You remember this face? It's the last thing you saw in life, and it'll be the last thing you see in death." And then just smash his head with my hammer.
Woo! Okay, so as he's on top of you, somehow you manage to grab a ghost and pull it out of you. He's on your space. You pull him out in front of you, grabbing him by his ghostly neck.
Grab a
You
ghost.
say that thing, and he says, and he looks like he's about to say something, but your warhammer smashes his ghostly head, and he disperses into the ether.
You
And
know
now
what I
there's
really want?
what was that?
I would like a sandwich with some calamari, some grab a ghost, some pepperoni, some mozzarella.
Give
I
me some
love
grab a
those
ghost.
grab and ghosts.
So now you have two spooky ghosts for like
That's fertile.
you have two scared ghosts for like a couple more seconds.
Yeah, they're still pretty.
Okay, well, okay, so it's my turn now?
Yeah.
I'm
Fuck 'em
gonna
up, I
go
guess.
here and I'll make one power attack.
You're up, Anulin, after this.
9 doesn't hit, does it?
No.
9.
Are you
Okay,
fucking
I'll
kidding me?
attack again.
Are you fucking kidding me? What am I, some sort of
A gazillion.
some sort of mook?
Ooh, I can reroll that. 9, 10, 11, 12,
Which number is
14.
that?
14
Number
damages
three.
on number 3.
14. So your axe misses once, swings in.
Am I still afraid?
What?
Am I still afraid?
Yes.
No,
Is
it
that-
ended.
Oh no, it's over. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. Okay, Anulin, you're up.
Alright. I am going to transfer my mark to the one in the corner.
Okay.
That one.
This
Yeah.
one, number 1.
Number 1.
No, and that has no damage, right? It's just.
Oh no, he's taking some damage.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Then I am going to fire a girl attack. 12?
12 to hit. Misses. Clinks off the side of the
20.
cover. 20 does hit.
That'll
Surprisingly, it hits.
Man, what is it with you and 20? I'll tell you.
I love the Cuphead music for the dragon body.
15 damage.
Is that what that was?
15 damage.
It was
That sounds
before.
like.
This is Cowboy Bebop.
Oh.
No, I know this. This is.
But no, it was definitely Cuphead music before.
Your first one clatters off the side of the cavern.
I was gonna
Your
say,
second
this
one
sounds
finally
like
finds
Fight
its
Fight.
mark,
Just
and it
wacky
pierces
slapstick
through its
stuff.
torso. It's starting to fade a little bit. Vandris, you're up.
I will go if I can make it there. I guess I can use my cutting action to dash the one that she just attacked all the way in the back corner.
Number 1, you zip in, you dash, sprinting through around some of these ribs, and get through.
26.
Hits.
Points of damage.
Jesus.
You sprint up behind, and as it's kind of running into a wall, desperately trying to get out, you get it in the back, and your magical blade completely disperses it. Matthias.
I believe that I also can make it here with a dash, which I'll do.
You don't
and
need
then
to dash. You can play
I'll attack. Nope. And 18.
18 does hit. You
That'll.
get sneak attack.
Yep, I do. That'll be 15.
15 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. Your cutlass misses, clangs against the wall, and finds its target again as it slices through, this doing full damage, and it's looking injured. 4 ghost.
Bonus action, disengage.
You already, you don't need anything.
And I'll go shoom.
Okay, back to Vandris. Sylvie, you're up.
Okay, and there's only one left.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to transfer my hex to him because the
Fine.
other one died that had it, and I'm going to attempt to attack him. Well, one's gonna miss,
Okay.
but then it's 15 plus 8.
Hits.
So,
They're kind of bulky.
They're shields, right?
Yeah, I guess
14.
14 points of damage.
Yeah.
14.
And we're a bunch of murderers.
Murderers.
One
Straight up
smashes
murder.
against a rib again, but one manages to fly past Angular and Rodek, blasts in the chest. It is looking very weak.
Jeez.
I'll look up to it.
Just
I'll just waddle up to it.
Sneeze on it.
Well, maybe not, because that's only a 14 to hit.
It misses.
Yep.
Oh, rats.
Oh well.
Monsters won. He's not feared anymore.
Oh, he's not feared.
Yeah, we attacked him.
So he's going to turn to Rodek, who was the last one to hit him. And he is looking very angry. He
In
doesn't
range.
I hit him.
Well, I mean, in range.
Yeah.
That's not going to provoke opportunity attacks.
I knocked him out of his fear.
Okay.
You should be
I'm
thanking
not-
me.
And that's going to be a natural 20 on Rodek. Swings the
So
sword,
sorry.
and it's going to be... Oh my god. 8 points of force damage.
He's looking bloodied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bloody.
You
Rodek,
can take
you're up.
all 8 though,
I know.
because it's force.
I know. When the 60.
And Rodek gets the revenge skill.
We'll see.
I will attack twice. One hits. One's like a 22-1. The other is a 8, 9, 11, 12, 13.
13 misses. I guess the other one hits. I gotta trust you, right? Fucking cheating
Well, it's
bastard.
21. I
You
think
rolled
it's 21.
a 13. That's right.
Bastard!
Okay, that is a 14 damages.
You miss once, it dodges out of the way, and you swing again, it cut through, but it is still hanging on. Your
Wow.
non-magical
Fuck.
weapon.
Oh, right.
Slicing
Going to have
through.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah. Annual, you're up.
Ghostbusters.
Can I? Man, can I?
Up
Could I get an
to-
arrow past old Ganji Manji there?
What was that?
Can I get an arrow past Ganji?
Yeah, I'd say you could.
Okay, I'm gonna transfer
Not to scale,
my
really.
mark and make 2 attacks.
He's kind of high up in the air, too. He's a ghost.
He's a goose.
Got a 26 and a 15.
26 hits, 15 doesn't.
Wow. They're mean.
$18 for the first hit. Oh, I'm sorry, no, just 18.
18. And after wailing on this guy, despite your bow not being magical, it dealt more than the 1 hit point needed to fly through, burst against the wall, but after slaughtering this ghost. And as all of them disperse, all of the souls that were kind of lingering in the air, very vague shapes, swirl around with the one that Matthias, with the exception of the one that Matthias had sucked in his cutlass, swirl around, shoot into the door goes and opens.
But it doesn't open all the way because of the one missing soul, I hope.
It opens
You
90%
look like
of the way.
it's not here, it's like so not entirely all the way, not entirely
I love
all
it.
the way.
But it's a good thing I didn't kill everybody.
Yeah, that's good. Alright, well, it took a wee bit of a beating. I think nobody else is hurt though, is that right?
You look a little injured,
Just a little bit, but I'm alright.
Better.
I could go on, honestly, so
I'd say it's time to move on.
Agreed.
we don't have. Do we have Pass Without a Trace anymore?
I don't know. That's long gone.
Let's shake a leg.
I guess we probably don't have time to rest.
They're gonna know we're coming regardless.
I mean, do you want a
just
health
need
pot?
to-
Or
Oh yeah, I have health potions. I gotta figure it out. Oh yes, I'll down I'll down one of my greater healing potions.
Okay. You down a greater healing potion.
I have
you feel
5
a lot
of them, right?
stronger. The door opens up, and you
Have
walk
some force.
down
Here,
a hallway. The hallway seems to be built in a similar style to the temple that was around this creature, and but there are no bas reliefs, and it goes down and down and down, deep, 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 and you walk a very long way until you start to see a glowing light at the end of this long hallway. You keep walking. And
Yeah.
Oh, like the hallway?
down the hallway, you
Hold on. So I stopped everybody.
Of course you do.
Do you see the light?
I just point toward the light.
Can we hear
what color
anything?
is the light?
make a perception check.
Happily.
Me or who?
I don't know. I'm a pirate. No. It's a.
Is this
21.
21.
He's so slight, so it's
Uh,
question.
You make a perception check and you listen and you can hear falling water. What sounds like a waterfall.
We're not going up, are we?
You're going down.
But the color of the light.
The color of the light is this strange, like, mix of kind of an orangish and yellowish and.
Does it look like
pinkish.
fire flickering, or it's just
No,
magical?
it's not flickering. It seems to be just kind of this dull glow.
I would like to stealth.
Okay.
I similarly feel stealthy at this time.
Go roll stealth checks.
Are we still under the deliciousness?
Nope.
We're no longer in the deliciousness.
13. I have as good stealth as I had with Pass Without Trace.
Avantris again.
Okay.
Oh no.
Brutal.
So I've
You
got
can't Avantris when you do stealth checks. I got a 28.
I've got a 4.
There you
I
go.
have a
I got a
13.
20.
A 4.
12.
20, 12, okay.
13.
13. Okay. I got everybody. So, you continue on your way. And you walk out into a chamber. And let's pull back the fog of war, shall we? You... hold on. Can you move the clicker up, please? So...
Like he's in a dog collar with the cone of shame.
You come to a
Aw.
platform, and you hear the loud, the putrid stench of the rotting flesh of Bakragul is long behind you. Now you smell the strong smell of water, salt water, and mist batters your face as waterfalls all ahead of you, coming from very high up in this very high cavern ceiling. And on all the areas that don't have water pouring down, there seems to be strange barnacles, algae, strange sea creatures all up and around, letting off this kind of bioluminescent glow of different oranges and yellows and reds.
And they're moving?
Nope, they're just basically plastic, like kind of sea sponge, but this is like a barrier reef or something.
Gotcha.
But like just strange sea life, microscopic colony sea life, all over these walls that seem to be smooth and wet from the constant misting of these. You see that the platform cuts off, and then there is a darkness below, not darkness below, but there's a drop off as of to where the waterfall is pouring off. It's almost like you're at a balcony that's been carved around this smooth stone floor.
Are we standing in water?
No.
Okay.
So you're not standing in water. This is all stone floor built, you presume, by these dragons.
So the waterfall is just flowing directly in front of us as we're standing on this platform.
Yes.
It continues on its way down. We don't see
Continues
where it's
on its
landing.
way down. You haven't gone up to the edge yet, but you there's a good amount of distance between this balcony looking over to, and there's probably a good 15, 20 feet between you and the waterfall, where the balcony ends and the waterfall.
2 more questions for me. Where do I see the source of light? Is it the barnacles? And does it look like there's anything behind the waterfall?
There's always something behind the waterfall.
I mean, obviously. That's going to be a 12.
12. You look and you can see that the light is coming from kind of barnacle, not necessarily barnacles, but strange kind of sea life, almost microscopic, just clinging to the walls. That's grown
Bioluminescent.
Bioluminescent, yeah.
And we're alone on this balcony?
It's just you guys. It's just you guys, and and then the strange sea creature.
Are there any doors off the balcony? Any?
Nope. This was basically the waterfalls coming out from this small slit in the stone, pouring down, and then the drop.
What the fuck were those dragon ghost things? I'm gonna
quickly shush Matthias.
It's too late. I'm walking up to the edge to take a look. I'm unconscious. I'm just drawn to the edge. I have to go look.
You look down.
I put my hands out to prevent anyone else from walking further.
I nod. You
look down and you see that it's about a 40 to 50 foot drop into water. You see that the waterfall is flowing into. There seems to be a room beneath you. And the waterfall seems to be flowing into a very quick, rapid moving current that's going in a circular motion. And there seems to be a stone wall separating it. And right off from the balcony, there seems to be calm water right beneath you.
So there's calm water and there's like a whirlpool.
So it's calm
Well,
water,
I'll turn
and
around
circular,
and-
and then a circular stone wall, basically burying it, and then a crazy rough current where the waterfalls are all cascading down into.
I'll turn around and I'll say, I wish I knew what Adelaide was up to when she was drowning folks at the mouth of the cave, and instead she had a perfectly good drowning chamber right here.
Is that what you see?
About 40 feet, 50 feet down, there's a whirlpool of sorts at the base of the waterfall. Yes.
What do you see when you look up?
I look up.
Make a look perception.
I would love to. It's Tiamat.
That's 6.
6. You look up, and it seems to be just the stone walls just going up into this high cavern area. Different patches of these bioluminescent creatures.
And the waterfall from where I am goes up 10, 20, 30 feet.
The waterfall probably goes up another 40 feet.
Yeah, this is a tall fall.
Well said.
And you
Tall
guys
wall.
feel like you've been walking down that hallway for a very long time. Not a very long time, but for a while. You're deep into the.
So
beneath the
we can
silent
take a
now.
short rest, is what you're saying.
Depends on if you want to take a nap. If you'd like to, it's fine.
I'm kidding, not from water.
And we can't hear anything from down below us.
No, from your perception checks, no, you can't. It just sounds like running water.
Well, do we try to go down? Do we try to scale these walls?
So there's just balcony here?
Just balcony, dropping down into.
Okay, so I want to walk up and I'm going to look over to see where the calm pool is versus the running water. Like on what side?
So you get the sense that you look down, that this pool is going basically that's going about probably 15 feet out this way and matching the shape of the balcony.
Okay.
And then the waterfall is basically into this,
Past that.
into this rough current, partitioned off intentionally by this
Do
stonework.
these barnacle creatures? They look like actual like creatures, like animals of some
Not
kind.
so like on a coral reef or something. Those are all creatures, right? And it's just
They're
looks like a
technically
plant
alive,
or something.
but
They're
they're-
technically alive. They're
they don't
technically
wanna be
creatures,
free.
but it's not like little skittering things.
Well, we do know that Adelaide came through this way with your friend Orpheus.
He did.
And how would they have progressed through this area?
They might have.
I start to check the walls.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Can I use my stone cunning, or is that just history? I guess
That's
probably
history.
not. 11.
These seem to be similar style to the stone walls that you encountered previous, but they are very slick and slimy.
So no like hidden doors or anything.
Not easy to find.
Are there any tracks on the ground?
Tracks. Make a survival check.
19.
19. Although it's very, very faint, you notice that there are 2 sets of footprints that have kind of made their mark in this previously untouched tomb. You assume previously untouched tomb that basically walk towards the edge of this balcony and just stop.
Do you see these tracks, guys? It looks like they're just went up and over.
Do the steps' distance look like they were walking or running?
They look like they were walking. And they look like they were
Okay,
talking.
I'm not going to do that then.
They might
Go,
have.
please, by all means.
I mean,
Are there any like little pebbles on the ground or anything?
You could probably find a bit of like broken off stone.
I want to take a little piece of something and
Okay.
drop it over the edge into the calm water.
Okay. You go walk over and you drop it, and the light from the bioluminescence goes all the way down. You can see it fall. It plops in and sinks down.
Can we see down through the water?
It's too dark. From how far are you up? It'd be too dark to see.
Does anyone have the ability to go to the top of the falls and see where the river's coming from?
Sylvie does.
No.
Theoretically,
Yeah.
yes. Depending. Well, okay. We could also, but I'm saying this out of character because I want to ask the DM about this because it's probably bullshit.
This should be good.
If I cast Water Walk, technically it allows us to rise up through water at 60 feet per second. Does that work on waterfalls?
I would say it would.
It's a water elevator.
It would
Right.
not, because the water is coming down at you. So
Okay.
basically, you probably slowly sink. But
I think you should cast that anyway. If we were going down there,
It does take 10 minutes.
then why don't
If
we
we have
start
10
now? We'll
minutes
give
to
Genji 10
spare.
minutes. We'll look around.
And I still have this.
I can take someone on the broom to like inspect things. I can fit one more person. So while he's casting his walk on water stuff, someone can hop in the room with me and we can just fly around. And
I've
talk
spent my
about
life
it.
at sea, but I would try a moment in the air if that'd be fine. by you.
200 gold, please.
I'll take 2 platinum out and drop them in.
I think that adds up.
I forget what the exchange rate on platinum is.
Sully probably doesn't know what the
Puts it in your bag.
Yep. Get on.
It's 100 for one, right?
I think it's 10.
It's
Oh,
10.
it's
It's
10.
10 gold for each.
Oh,
platinum.
really?
Yeah.
My apologies. I thought it was
fine.
100 to. All right.
no,
That's
that's
10.
perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's fine.
hilarious.
Matthias does what he does.
Yeah.
And then I hop on. Santa style.
You ride up on the broom and you check the tops of the falls, and you don't see, and you see that all of this raging water is coming out of a very narrow slit at the top of this cavern. It's not that narrow, but basically only water is able to fit through. It's not like an area that you're able to see. However, when you are coming back down and turn around, you do see that there seems to be another smaller balcony up into the ceiling here. And there seems to be a very small balcony with smooth stone floors, and there is a heavy waterfall coming down along this, and there seems to be, however, a current, a river or stream of some kind that is coming out of the waterfall and then going back into the waterfall with a very large stone grate, basically, in the middle of this stream.
So that's the grate.
Yeah.
This is the grate.
Yep.
Going over the stream.
Does it act like a bridge or like something you walk across?
So it looks like basically the waterfall that there is a stream of some kind coming out from behind the waterfall, going through this grate, and then coming back through around the side back into the waterfall. And then
Sylvie, I made a mistake. Take me down. I don't care for this. I'd rather be going down at this time.
200 more gold, please. No, I'm kidding. Let's go. So I'll take him back to and I'll tell the group what we saw.
Okay.
So it goes behind the waterfall.
Comes out and then goes.
I want to put a sticker that says like this really pretty like U on it on the side of the broom. Like black background, white
Okay.
U.
Okay.
you know.
Got it.
Oh no, they updated their logo though.
Oh shit,
It's
what
not
is
like
it
a
now?
weird
It looks
ad.
like garbage.
Adam.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then it's
Anyway.
not language based.
She's.
But I don't know that, so I'm gonna keep the U.
It looks like a U.
What be you talking
You
about?
gotta switch to lift. It makes more sense with the broom.
Oh yeah, actually I'm kidding. I'll put a mustache on the back of the broom.
There you
I
go.
prefer lift.
Take it for the mustache rides. Okay.
Well, I wonder if that's how they left this balcony.
What is?
The balcony you just described.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
You could ferry us up one by one.
I could.
Why don't we do that? That sounds far more reasonable than trying to go down.
Sure, but if you want to ride, you're going to have to call the phone number, and then I have to come pick you up individually.
Oh wait, hold on. The river, the outside, it is coming from behind the waterfall. It's going through the grate and then falling back as part of the waterfall. I fucked that up.
Hold on.
So it
So-
doesn't look like a place to get down.
So the stream is coming out of from behind the waterfall, going through the grate, and then falling back down into the water.
Well,
So this is all rock here.
Yeah.
This is going over.
So
this is coming back
it's
out
more
that
like
way.
showing us how there's that whirlpool and
So
how there's that calm
something
area.
is coming back out. So there's a river coming out of the waterfall, going through the grate, and then spilling back off down into the.
Like a drainage thing from the water. draining into the waterfall, kind of. Like, or maybe.
You know?
Sylvie, did you notice anything pushing up against that grate, and that the water may have caught
Sorry,
and then pushed into it?
Well, no, you were digging your hands into my back because you were shaking. You're afraid of flying.
I was not aware of that until the very moment. No,
I thought you were gonna puke on me. I just washed them.
I might have. Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna prestidigitation myself. Clean off his vomit.
So hold on. So this isn't a bridge.
No, that's a grate.
This is a grate.
So this is like a balcony that doesn't do anything. There's like no outlet.
It's a balcony that seems to be carved into the side of this cave with this river stream coming out of a waterfall that's crashing down beneath it, going through this large, tall stone grate that the water sifts through, and then goes back into that.
It could be a way for someone to go and collect things that get caught in the grate, like the bodies of the drowned, or like kelp or something.
Well, why don't we go investigate?
Okay.
Or do you think we just go down?
Well, I mean, I can also, I imagine, fly down with somebody and take
And
a
check
look
it in,
at what's
check it in.
down below.
Right.
Why don't you go, Rodek?
I don't think Ganji's done yet, is he?
I don't think so.
I'm still chanting, I'm
Okay.
assuming.
Why don't one of the elves go?
Yeah, Vandris, come on, let's go.
I'd almost prefer one of us investigate the balcony up top while another pair of us investigate the balcony down below.
Well,
or
you guys
the
are
area.
both very small, so why don't you jump on the broom and I'll drop one of you off upstairs, and then we'll go downstairs, and then we'll pick the other one back up when we're done.
Okay, dealer's choice.
Yeah, you guys can all fit. The 3 you can fit.
I didn't know this was an Uber pool all of a sudden.
Uber cool.
They're
So
gonna rate on
you
this,
fly
right?
and drop one of the elves off.
Yeah,
Which elf
so
is going up to the
which
top?
one's staying?
It's Sylvie's dealer's choice.
Okay, bye, Vandris. Knock him
So
off
you
the
knock
broom.
Vandris off. Vandris lands on the balcony. Sylvie and Annulin fly down into a circular-looking chamber. This, a lot of fog of war.
All I can hope is just that Orpheus and Deidre saw us drop a rock and are just like kind of chilling and looking at the entrance. They
So do
see
you
us
move
and
the
they
camera?
wave at us.
Camera queen.
That's my hope.
So
Camera queen's moving.
you see that this is a circular seems to be built room.
Eyeball.
Like I described, there is a stream, rough current swirling all around in a circle, and there is a stone wall that's separating it into nice calm water in the middle, and in the middle of that is a stone platform. On top of that seems to be some kind of dais that is able that almost looks like a compass or some other kind of thing on a sundial, and it looks like it's coming out with a large handle on the side of it. It's pointing. It's triangular shaped, and it's pointing in the direction of. We then notice that the waterfalls crashing on top of 3 of these doors, openings in the river that are carved into the shape of a black dragon skull, and in each of these mouths are open. 3 of the doors in these mouths are closed, except for the one that the arrow is pointing at.
Oh,
That's open.
We're in the water temple.
Oh
No!
I'm just gonna delete my game file.
This
and
is
never play
the
again.
Majora's Mask water temple shit right here. Okay.
So are those the only doors I know? Is there's like an investigation or perception check I can make to see if there's anything else?
Make an investigation check.
24.
24. You fly around. You see that although the waterfall is coming down very hard and water's going down heavily in front of these openings, that you are able to see in the east door, west door, and south door are closed. The north door is open, but you see the water is rushing in very, very heavily. So it's swirling around, circling, coming down the waterfall, and then exiting through that mouth. And there doesn't seem to be any kind of danger or anything that you can notice. There's no kind of secret door or anything. It just what you see is what you get.
What do you see down there?
I'm trying to talk to Annulin, Matthias.
I'm sorry.
God. Men, am I right? Annulin.
Right, girl.
Annulin. Do you think we should do anything?
This looks like something we should have the whole group for. But can I listen? Do I hear anything other than the rushing water?
No, just the rushing water.
What do you think? Should we go get the boys?
Yeah, do you think we should leave Avantris up there for a while and let him sweat?
He is being kind of a turd.
No, that's Rodak. They look very similar, though. They're about the same height.
It's true.
Yeah. No, we'll go get him.
Okay, Vandris, make an investigation check while they're doing this. I can't hear you.
You're muted.
I'm gonna get general investigation check first.
Okay.
Hold on, sorry. 22.
22. With that, you land, you walk around. As you are investigating the side and the pathways in this, you're able to see that through the waterfall, you're able to peer past it. There seems to be a rounded tunnel that goes deep off into the cavern system. It seems to be very slick and slimy around these walls, and it's going very far back. You're also able to investigate and look around and find that although it seems like this doesn't really go anywhere, you're investigating and you look at your face level towards the waterfall, and you're able to see barely another balcony behind this waterfall with some kind of stone structure on it.
So does the potential slimy opening allow me to slide through it to the other balcony?
So the slimy opening is a tunnel deep into the thing. The other balcony is would probably be a 40-foot jump if you could get through. The waterfall's crashing down very, very hard in front of it.
What's the lighting situation?
The lighting situation is it's probably, I don't know, dim light.
I like dim. Is the only way to get? I'm trying to picture this. The only way to get back and forth is this 40-foot-ish gap.
So so the gap is basically the balcony is in the waterfall that you can see. That
The worst case scenario, I fall down to the raging water below and get swept away and die.
I mean, you could fall into the water, yeah. So like the balcony would probably be like around here somewhere, not to scale, and it's behind the waterfall.
So, but it's above us.
It's above us. It's very high. It's at the same level as this platform.
And there appears to be a stone structure on that other balcony.
Yep. But the water is coming down very, very, very hard.
I'm gonna look around and see if I can find like a lever that might like stop the water or something, like a button or something.
What Sylvie if Sylvie's back out, what she told you about looks like there is some kind of movable lever downstairs.
Yeah.
How much space is there between the wall and the waterfall between the two balconies?
I'm confused. What do you mean?
So, I'm assuming between the two balconies, it's behind the waterfall. There's a wall of water on one side, and I would assume some sort of rock formation on the other side, correct? Or is it literally through water?
So it's literally through water. It's through water. It's crashing down over here. There is this balcony, right? Jesus Christ! Can you move that, please?
Camera queen.
There's no way to get to it then.
So, if you're looking for a way to like get behind the waterfall, there is no way to do that. No.
What if we have an immovable rod? What if we put the immovable rod in the waterfall? Because it's a flat iron rod. What if we put the immovable rod in the waterfall, made it unmovable above where we need to go to like stop the water from falling? Like, is the waterfall falling in like a thin sheet? Or
No,
is it
it's
like
not.
it's like
It's crashing.
It's
It's a huge deluge crashing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
It's not like a fancy fountain that tests.
Do you still have the ability to shape the flow of water?
I don't know that I can control a waterfowl like this. Or I don't think it does that. It's freestanding water in an area, so I don't think it works on a waterfall.
Very good. Okay.
Well, what if we turn the
Are you
dial thing?
I thought I told you guys what was going
What was
on.
Vandris? Did you get Vandris? So we're all back then. Yeah, fine. Okay, you're all back.
So what if we turn the little thing and it stops the waterfall for a little bit, and then we can go through, or maybe it doesn't, and then we can talk about this some more.
I suggest we try the lever.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
try the lever.
All right. Well,
I can't do it from here. Will you be kind?
I'm always kind.
Will you be kind and take care of the lever?
But you want me to put it in a blanket and sing a lullaby?
If that involves switching the lever in whatever mechanical way is necessary, then yes.
Sure, 200 gold. I'm kidding. It's
while
getting
while
old.
they're doing this, I'm going to take the movable rod, place it over here so that it's over at least calm water, Okay. and just tie a rope
Okay.
around it.
Yep.
And then so we're looking down over this water, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're done casting, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Games
Okay.
are casting.
I'm just gonna start climbing down.
Okay. Make a dex check just to tie the knot real quick to see how it is.
19.
19. You manage to tie it on very tightly. The rope goes down long enough, and you manage to get down. And you're hanging. Your rope is floating in the water down below, and you see exactly what Sylvie saw. And you're just above the water. You're probably about a good 10 feet from the stone dais in the middle.
All right, let's go.
Come on, elves.
And I'll put them back on my broom and we'll fly
Okay.
down.
You guys are going to climb down then.
Yeah.
Okay. You all climb down. Get into the water. You bounce back up, and you're all on the stone dais in the middle there.
I actually wanted
Oh.
to stay on the
fine.
platform until the lever is turned.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Matthias is staying on the platform. Yep. Okay. So you're going to attempt to move, I assume, the lever thing.
Well, I want to do. I want to inspect it for like any kind of magical
Okay.
traps.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
13.
13. You don't seem to notice anything.
So we walk on the water up to the.
Okay. You're able to walk on the water, stay on the water, wait for it. And so, just to give you an idea, it's triangular in shape. It comes down to a point. It looks like a sloping wedge.
A sloping wedge.
I'm gonna try to.
Do
turn
the
it.
honors?
Yeah.
Okay. So you press against it, and despite you being a gnome with relatively low strength, you manage to push it. It doesn't go up or down, but you manage to push it clockwise, and it slides, and then locks into place. And then all of a sudden, the door that it was facing northwards closes, and then the one to the east opens. And then the water suddenly redirects and starts pouring in that direction.
So the water shifts.
So the water doesn't shift. The water is continuously moving clockwise, and so
the waterfall doesn't move.
the waterfall doesn't move. So the waterfall is filling this rapid river here, and it's spinning around in a circle. And so it's flooding into this one first, and then you close that one, and now it's flooding into this one. So it's going clockwise.
Question.
Yeah.
Did the door shut immediately when we started moving it, and then the other one opened when it finished, or did it shut and
Shut and then open.
as when it got to the next position?
So basically, as soon as it was finished shutting, the other one started opening.
Okay,
Neither are open at the same time.
Correct.
but also they're not closed at the same time.
No, correct.
So I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna turn it towards that door.
Okay. Same thing happens.
Well,
I'll make my way down.
Okay.
we have a door we can get to.
I thought that maybe the waterfall would split or something, but this is
Yeah, I was hoping so. But
I think that I can't see how well they could have used magic probably, but I think at this point this is our only way forward.
Well, it seems like there are 4 ways forward.
But for us, I think I'm not sure how we would get past.
I mean, can we just walk through the waterfall?
You could try.
Does it look like it would hurt? Like, I mean, does it look like it would?
It looks like pretty rough, and it might like knock you down. But you could probably just everyone makes a strength saving throw to see what happens. But it does not look like completely impassable if you're walking on water.
Okay.
Well, and there is something behind that waterfall.
Yes, so it's the same circular tunnel that goes down through with each of them.
And there appears to be 4 of them.
Do we want to investigate the one that was open already?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Makes sense.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's look through it first
Right.
and decide
Yes,
if it's
yes,
worth
yes.
investigating.
Right. Okay.
I'll turn it this
You
time.
turn it back to the north, Kachu to west, Kachu back to north. It opens. You go investigate it. Just make an investigation check.
I'm gonna peek through the door. Well, man, I can't look through doors. That's gonna be a.
So you just look through fine on the
You
water,
look through
waterfall?
fine. It's very rough and choppy, but you're able to see it's that same dark tunnel, circular, slimy wall that goes and seems to wind through.
Give me a 4 looking through a door.
What?
I rolled a 4.
That's what you say. That's what you say.
Oh.
The same tunnel.
Can my old pirate eyes be failing me? Can someone else look through this door?
I'll look through the door. It's a little better. It's still an 11.
You
though.
see the same thing.
Okay.
There's a tunnel going off, tunnel going off, tunnel going off, tunnel going
It
off.
looks like a tunnel to me.
The water doesn't look like it's moving so rapidly or filling the tunnel so much that we would drown, does it?
No, it seems to be moving quickly. It maintains a nice level, and it's going very quickly, but it does not seem deep enough that it would be able to drown you. Unless you're a complete moron or something. I don't know.
Been there.
So what? So then I'm gonna wait for them to come back. I'm gonna turn it to the next one.
Okay.
And let's just peek my head.
Same thing. All
Okay, all 4. So
all
do
four.
that
It's
all
the
4.
same fucking
All
thing.
4 appear to be
He
tunnels.
said that already.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, I thought
These
you
are
were
all
just.
the
I
same.
thought you were making a point that one.
No,
because I kept asking you
They're
over
all
and
You're
over
just
again.
looking. You're just looking through
Okay,
that.
that
They're
makes sense.
all the same.
Should we roll a d4?
No, I think we should go through the one that was open.
All right, let's go.
How would they close it behind themselves?
Let's go through, and if we find a mechanism where they can change this room from without, then we'll have to reconsider our options.
There's some.
Agreed.
And let's hope the rope's still there.
Well, do you want me to go get it?
Yeah, Sylvie has. A
No,
room.
I think we should leave it.
Oh, so that someone else can take it and then
Yeah,
we're just
I
out
would-
of it because you.
I don't necessarily like leaving the immovable rod either.
Yeah, I'd rather have Sylvie fly up and grab it, and she can always fly
You know
up.
what?
And
All right,
hang
fly
with
me
it.
up there.
I don't care what he says. I'm gonna go get it by
No,
myself.
I'm coming with you. Fly me up there.
You're too fat to fit on my broom.
He can handle me, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You're too fat to fit on my broom.
You make me real
Rodek
slow.
doesn't know the weight limit on the broom.
Fine.
Okay. You go up. You get the rod. You get the rope.
I want to take the rope. Is that the movable rod? Is there anything to tie it to? I just want a rope.
I want
Like,
to kick him
remaining
off
there.
the broom. I'm just
There
kidding.
is nothing sturdy enough that you can see to tie it to.
Not a barnacle.
I also don't necessarily. I mean, look, we've announced our
Sparkles
presence.
are sharp.
They know we're coming, but I don't necessarily want to leave any sign that we're on our way either.
Yeah, can you just
Okay,
grab
fine.
the
Well,
stuff and
The only
let's
thing
go?
I would say, if we would leave something, is to leave the immovable rod in this door to try to keep it wedged open. But even that, I don't really care about.
Look, so at the end of the day, if you're worried about getting back up there, I have a door where technically you die, and then it's like another version of you exists after you come out of it. It's called Dimension Door. I can do that, and then I can also fly a couple of people. So, like, really, can you please just chill out?
Okay, let's go.
Let's proceed north.
Okay. I want to make a strength saving throw real quick.
8.
15 for me.
9.
7.
11.
20!
So who is below 10? Derek, Rhoda,
You and your
Sylvain.
20s.
Rhoda, you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Matthias, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Sylvia, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. As the waterfall knocks you down, but you are able to walk through and see this long, dark, winding tunnel that's slimy on all sides and very slick. It's as you're walking, you're walking on the current, so similar to how we're walking against the current, you were slowed down very heavily. You're able to move very quickly. It's still very dark. You're winding through. It seems like you're going deep into the earth here, and you see in front of you that it's opening into another chamber, and you see at the exit of this tunnel a similar stone grate.
Nowhere to go. It's just a dead end.
No, it's not a dead end. So it empties out into this chamber, but along to the side, it seems to sift through out into this chamber into a grate.
It's basically
the grates are- the
recycling
grate-
the water back through.
Basically, had you been swimming and you jumped in and let the water carry you, you would have hit the grate and not been swept down and been able to get out of into the chamber.
Oh, that's nice. Is the grate metal
Stone.
stone?
Wait, so there is the grate blocking our path?
No.
No.
He's
Seems to
just
be
telling
it seems
us
to be an
that-
opening, and it's dark, but there seems to be an opening.
Okay.
And then there's a grate. Okay.
I'm
Let's
gonna
continue
stealth.
on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Stealth.
stealth.
You want to do a stealth check?
Yeah, we're gonna.
God,
Damn.
I'm gonna stop rolling this
I
way.
rolled a natty
9.
20, but I have disadvantage, so it's
9?
only a 9.
9.
It's almost the lowest I can go. I got a 17.
Must be
For
Okay.
21.
23.
Okay. So you make your way and you step out, and you see that the stream, the river thing. Can you?
I'll be the queen.
Oh, you'll be my queen.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah, my pleasure.
You see a very relatively small chamber. The ceiling does not seem to be that high. You come out on this side, and that's where the grate goes in, and then it seems to go back into the earth. And there seems to be a 15-foot across or larger stone walkway. There's water on either side in this very dark room. On the far end is an enormous stone door. And emblazoned, rather carved and chiseled onto this, is a similar symbol, but a huge black dragon skull.
Carved, not actually a black dragon.
Not actually a dragon, carved.
Any writing?
and this is that's not a ladder, is it? That's just a grate.
That's the grate.
Okay.
I'd like to see if there are tracks for the purposes of our quarry.
Okay.
I'd turn advantage. All right, door guy.
Make a survival check.
Oh goodness.
I crack my knuckles
14.
and I step up to the
14.
I
Don't
slap
see
him on the
notes.
back.
I don't see anything.
He takes 2 points of damage.
I carefully approach the door and I begin to check for physical or mechanical traps.
Okay. Roll investigation.
I don my eyes of minute seeing.
Thank you.
Can you give him a little pat on the butt there, Ganji?
Oh yeah, guidance definitely.
3.
26.
This, you investigate very thoroughly. This door is so massive and doesn't seem to have any kind of holes or mechanisms or any rooms for any kind of traps at all. It does not seem to be trapped.
I thought he was going to say massively trapped.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I can't find anything. Doesn't mean there's nothing there. But I'm confident in my abilities, and I think we're clear on this one.
Then push it open.
I don't know if it works like that. In my investigation, did I notice any kind of a keyhole,
No.
lever,
Not at all. It's
like a
massive.
split in the stone where it would split in two? Nothing. Just
Nope.
a stone slab.
No,
I'll help you,
basically
lad.
a stone
I'll help.
slab.
I walk up and I
Okay.
start to press on
Make a strength check or athletics check rather.
So
Yeah.
can we both do it?
Can,
You
yeah,
can
together.
give you advantage.
I'll
yeah.
walk up and I'll pull out
So
my
we're both
cutlass.
doing it together? 27.
You heave and heave and heave. The wall does not. The door does not budge at all.
I was feeling pretty strong and the door didn't move. I don't think this is going anywhere.
Sorry.
There's more to it than this. I
What are-
don't know what.
Is the dragon's skull like making any sort of face or doing anything weird?
No, it just seems to be the fleshless face, and Ganji would know this at the very least. That black dragon skulls heads in general are very skull-like, so it's not that much of a jump to get to the skull, but it just is motionless, mouth open, very dark, shallow eyes.
I think Ganji should try to seduce the door.
I think vendors should die in a fire.
We all did what we want, guys.
Sorry. What are we standing on again?
Sitting on a smooth stone
Okay.
walkway.
Could there be something?
And
in
that's
the
not
water?
to scale, but
Could be some. Could there be something in the water?
That's what I was trying to get at. Like, is the water underneath the walkway?
you look down and it seems like it's just solid all the way down, and
Okay.
there's pools of water on either
Okay.
side.
Yeah.
Does it look like there are any signs along the stones of varying water levels? Like if at some point the water in here has been higher than what it is, or lower?
Make a perception check.
This is gonna be bad. 11.
It does not seem to move. It seems to be the water seems to be. You can see kind of the rime along the side of the walls there, and it seems to be very steady. It might be like a couple inches, but nothing massive.
Are there any salmon in the water?
No, Sylvie didn't notice any salmon.
Hey, yo.
Sylvie, could we try to detect magic and see if there's...
Oh yeah.
I want to use the detect magic wand
Okay.
to see if there's any kind of magical things.
Okay. Oh, you don't need to roll anything.
Yeah.
It does not light up when you wave
Okay.
around the door.
Anything in the water that lights up?
Nothing lights up.
Well, we have 3 other doors to explore. So I think instead of spending more time here, we just go back and pick another door.
Okay.
We could. Is there any way that we'd be able to close the door that we came in on by turning the object at the center of that pool while we were still in this room?
Well,
Someone would have
How
to stay
far
behind.
away are we?
What?
Like,
you guys
what's the
walk.
difference?
You guys were walking deep for a long time, so it would have taken you like relatively quickly down rapid, but walking, you are very, very deep into the earth now.
okay. Well, guys, so this is my plan, right? So we have our Rocky Talkies, correct?
We do.
So you could communicate
Our what?
with me. Our Rocky Talkies. They're Rockies,
Don't ask, it
and
was
they
before
talk.
you.
Anyway, I don't need to hear from you.
Hey.
But from you guys, I might need to hear from. What if I went out there, maybe with one other person just for safety, we turned it, you guys stayed in here, you Rocky Talkied and said, hey, the door opened when you did that, that's amazing. And then we were like, okay, dimension door back into this door, let's go join you, yay.
I'll go with
or
you.
we said, nope, it didn't do anything, I'll turn it back, and then you guys come out. What do you think?
If you have the ability to communicate that way, then I'd say go for it.
Okay,
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, sure.
elves?
I'm not opposed. Before we throw that out, just before we execute, is there any reason for only one person to stay behind and we have people investigate each hallway individually? We have enough for 2 people on the stone lever and one for each room.
Well, my concern is that if that door opens and there are a bunch of like deadly beings and there's only one person in that hallway, they're gone.
Right. So I think split. Why didn't we split 3 and 3? In case Orpheus is back in the
I
room.
can only take one person with me through my door. So if I have 3 people with me at the dais, then one of them might die. So Brodek, come with me. Annulin, you can come with me through my door.
I'll stay here.
No, you can come with me.
All right, I'll go.
Okay.
I'm just joshing you.
Who?
I was a guy I knew long ago. He was a real jackass.
So
You make Josh.
you make your way through the other side of the tunnel, go back the way you came. Okay. You go back up the way you
It's
came.
me and Roddy K.
And you're going through the chamber again. I want to make a strength saving throw.
It's me and Roddy K.
9.
Strength or athletics?
Strength saving throw.
Oh, saving throw. 12.
12. Having kind of figured out how to get through, you manage to weather the pounding water, and you get back to the dais. You turn it, door closes, nothing happens.
Hey guys, at your door. Anything happening?
Did you turn the object?
Yeah.
Aye, we did.
Nothing happened.
Let's turn it again.
All right.
So we turn it again.
Every time you do it, nothing happens to the large door.
Okay, so I guess nothing happened. You guys want to go in a different door?
All right. Wait for them and
Yeah.
head on back.
Okay. So you guys are gonna join them?
Yeah. First, I'm just going to touch the skull in the door. The black dragon face. It's not magical, so I'm not expecting anything to happen.
You touch it and feels your scaled hand goes on the smooth stone. It's also kind of very slick and slimy with years of this subterranean sea cave.
Sylvie.
Ganji, why don't you say open in Draconic and see if it listens to you?
Sure.
You say open in Draconic and nothing happens.
Didn't work. Good idea, though.
Ganji, you have to say to end the call.
Over.
He's learning.
Sorry, that was out, not over. I'm not maintaining proper
Okay.
discipline.
So you are going back the way you came through the door?
If we have to turn around, we'll turn around.
Okay, so there is another. The river continues, but if you decide to go back the way you came, that's fine. And you all walk through the river again. I need everyone to make a strength saving throw. They walk through.
Natty 20.
Pickle Rick!
17.
6.
Flat 10.
6. Okay. Anyone who basically from now on, when you go through, roll if you get below 5 or below, let me know.
Got it.
Okay, 5 or below, let me know. With that, you get back to the main room, and everyone's together.
So,
So, I know that I generally don't speak much sense, but I really have a feeling that the water and the way the water moves has something to do with these doors.
Why don't we go through the one that has no water?
Okay.
I'm
That's
done
the
with
one
that.
That
right across,
seems
right?
like
What, no
logically
water?
the most.
The south one, right?
The
The
south.
one that's
Yeah.
not affected by the
Is there one that has more water than any of the others?
So there's one that does not have the waterfall flowing all over it, correct?
But is there one that has like an amplitude of water, like
What do you mean?
more, like just that there's more water than any of the like the opposite of
no,
what?
no.
Okay,
It seems
okay.
to be that there's just that the waterfall is covering 3 of them, and the other one is covered by the balcony.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So you shift it south, and you head through the southern chamber. No need to make a strength saving throw here. There's no waterfall. You walk through. You once again are going very, 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 very deep into the earth here, and you are after several minutes of walking, maybe 10 minutes of walking or so. Nope, that's not it. You see another similar grate that stops you. And just for the sake of time. So, fun fact, I had to draw this all weird and arrow-like because no matter what, if I didn't do it angular, it looked like a dick. So, I literally drew it like 5 different
It looks
times.
like a robot.
It
dick.
still looks like a dick.
Well, whatever, fuck you guys. So, you, the same similar grate stops this river. It also continues to go back into the earth, and it opens into another chamber. The water is very still and very dark, save for at the far end of the cavern, deep in the water, are these strange glowing lights that are kind of slightly moving around that look like, almost like floating lanterns. You see a stone walkway, similar in the make of the one that you saw before the huge door, but this one angles off, and there seems to be a large trident sticking up out at the end of this platform, and there seems to be a clutter of armor around it. And you see a few stones here and there, a few rocks coming out from this rippling pool of water.
So scattered armor and a trident.
Yep. And the dancing lights, the floating lanterns.
I would like to remind everyone, the last time we were in one of these temples, we fought an animated suit of armor, so let's proceed with caution. And,
A suit of armor, you say?
yes, it had a gem in the crown or its helmet of some sort. It seemed to animate.
Aye. Well, I hope that doesn't happen tonight.
This looks
Let's
like
proceed.
Yes, I'll walk forward with you, Rodek.
Okay.
Right.
You walk forward and you see the trident. The armor is cluttered. You're closer now. It's the water seems to be very, very deep here, down off into a little cove is kind of where these lantern-looking lights in the water are coming from. But however, before you look, and there seems to be a helmet, a bit of a breastplate, some looks like basically a scattered bits of armor here and there.
Is the trident on the ground?
No, it's standing straight up.
Can I see any like runes or anything on the shaft?
Ew.
So make an investigation check.
Curve to the left. 18.
18. You see that this trident is made of a very it's very thick, and it almost seems to be the same color as the stone. It's very thick. It seems to be made of the same color of like a really deep bronzy brashish color that looks to be the same color of the brown stone that you're on. And it's obviously arcing into 3 points. It almost looks like it would be strange to use as a weapon because of how thick the girth of each of these points is.
So you're saying it's unwieldy?
It's pretty unwieldy. The shaft is also very
I would like to use detect magic on the shaft.
Okay. It glows with bright blue magic.
And what was blue again?
What kind?
What detects a magic item? What would be a magic item?
So you tell them it's a magic.
Yeah,
It's a magic
It's a magic
item.
item.
It's all
Yeah.
It doesn't say what type, does it? I didn't know that.
It tells us what type of magic it is. So
Oh,
if it's
really?
like evocation.
Actually,
Yeah,
I think I can.
And in the meantime,
Does it look at all familiar, or like anything any of us have seen?
That trident does not look like anything that you've seen. It seems to be very, very old. Ganji, why don't you make a quick history check for me?
roll high.
With advantage.
That's what you want.
Enchantment.
Well, that didn't work.
Not great.
Not great.
Not great, eh?
That's a 9. I skipped the trident part.
You could guess
That's
that this
good
looks to
advice.
be like a dragonborn make.
Did we see it trident?
Can I go grab it?
I wouldn't
I
mind
just
going to
really
grab
want
it.
to grab it.
Why?
I just love putting my hands around a girthy staff.
Does it look like
I say true.
if it looks, I'm ignoring that. If it looks like a dragonborn thing, does it look like a bronze dragonborn thing?
It'd be difficult to tell. You can tell it's ancient dragonborn. It doesn't. It seems to be like it was probably built by the people that built this temple,
Okay.
or crafted by the people that built this temple.
Okay.
Not from the helmet, can you tell?
The helmet is of a similar style, similar.
I'm gonna walk out and touch it.
It looks like, okay, as soon as you touch it, the water whips up all around you and starts swirling, filling the armor, and then as you touch it, the trident pulls away from your grasp as a fully suited water elemental holding the trident is looking at you, attacking you. Everyone roll initiative.
Son of a bitch.
You fucking.
Oh my goodness, no.
That
Avantris.
was not a 20.
Oh, roll the Avantris.
You roll Avantris?
No, you did. I rolled close to it.
I rolled an annulin.
So, also, so could you place yourselves just real quick?
Well,
So-
I would be right up there next to it.
Yeah.
I would be pretty close.
Like,
So
literally
as
on top of it.
you all were, as it whips around, you hear there's
You're not
splashes
looking at
in the
it.
water
Nice.
around you,
That
and
was
you hear the
looking-
clattering
Yeah.
of legs, and you turn to see that a bunch of giant crabs have jumped out of the water. In
Giant
response,
enemy
seemingly,
crabs.
Always crabs.
seemingly dominated by, they have a strange look to their eye. As if they've been
There are
dominated.
crabs and a water elemental?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bee sting.
Hey, I asked first. Nobody said no. So
I like that I can
had to-
roll a 1 and still have a 9 on initiative. That's just...
That's nuts.
Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Wasting
getting
all
my
of
note
my
cards.
20s on an initiative.
I mean,
Okay.
That's good. That's fine.
Okay,
Nothing
okay,
wrong with
okay.
that. Nothing wrong
So
with
I'm rolling initiative for the elemental, and then crabs. Ooh, oh, a donkey. Okay, 20 to 25.
23.
22.
that. Man, it's real cold in here.
Where's monsters 1? Whatever. Monsters 2 is the crabs. Oh, there it is. Monsters 2 is the crabs. 15 to 20. Anybody? Okay. 10 to 15? What the hell did you guys roll?
6.
6.
9.
Who?
7.
Okay.
What
9,
fight you? I can
9,
cast
7,
Cutlass.
I
Annulan,
got a
and
6.
Rodok and Ganji. Who's going first?
Okay.
I'll go first. Unless
Wow.
you want to like cast a spell.
Wow.
No.
Holy shit. Okay.
I mean, I could banish this
So
guy, but
with
that's
that,
my
it's
last
Sylvie's.
level
Oh, let me
spell.
place my
Don't
fucking
do
tokens.
that.
I'm sorry, guys.
That is desperate. Where we
The water elemental Myrmidon is
Oh, he's a Myrmidon.
standing above you, and you can see now that the helmet seems to be to fit a dragonborn with the particular horn style of a black dragonborn, and so there are just crabs everywhere. Everyone's got crabs.
Not
So for the viewers.
So I'm still.
I already had crabs.
So am I still? Do I
With
still
it.
have my hand wrapped around his girthy staff?
So you touched it, you didn't grab it.
It got-
So it
Oh.
got yanked out of your grip.
Yeah,
Okay.
got pulled
Yeah.
out. Got pulled out.
Okay, so that's where we'll
You
say
know what I'm
everything
saying.
is. Sylvia, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to cast Charm Monster on it.
Okay.
So it has to make a Wisdom saving throw against a 15.
Oh please, I'm begging you. Fuck this up.
15. Wiz, that's a 10.
Yay! So it works then. He's the Charm Monster. That was the thing that I did to the captain.
So what does it do?
So it's an hour. I'm sorry,
Wait,
I'm trying
does
to
Charm Monster work on humanoids and
You attempt
elementals?
to charm a creature. You can
Charm
do it in
person
range with
only
all
works on
creatures.
humanoids. Monsters working on everything.
Jesus Christ.
And since
How do you
nobody
know
Just
Charm
tweeted
Monster?
about that.
because it is a level 4 spell
Yeah. I-
from Xanathar's.
Okay.
I have level 4 spells, so that. I mean, that's that.
It's friendly to me.
Okay.
And it will know that I charmed it in an hour.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's just friendly to me.
Okay.
Are you gonna tell us not to attack it, or?
And I'm gonna yell out, "He's my friend! Don't hurt him! I like your staff. You're really blue."
Can you make a persuasion check with advantage?
19.
19. Okay. The water elemental seems to process what you're saying, and it seems to kind of let down its guard a little bit. Vandris.
Does the elemental...
It's a real spell.
Don't just stop attacking us and have its crabs stop attacking
It
us.
just bubbles. It just bubbles.
Are they friends?
Does the armor that the elemental's wearing resemble anything like we saw in the Green Dragon, or like does it have like a central point of a gem or light or something? Just describe the armor.
So the armor does not seem to be kind of imbued as if like it is animating the armor. It seems as if the water elemental was in the water and then basically inhabited the armor in order to fight.
Okay, I'm gonna stab the crab right in front of me, right in the face.
You stab the crab in the face. Can you keep it?
Which one? This one? So he's engaged?
No, where I am. There's one right in front of me, the other side.
Oh.
Turn there, yep. And I rolled a 25.
Okay. That hits.
That does not hit. It misses.
28 points of
28 points of damage. Number what? Which number is that, Rich?
6.
6. As this crab is coming out to snip and snap you, you just go and just stab it through the carapace, breaks, and he dies. Number 6 dies.
Jesus.
Yeah. Monsters 2 are the crabs. They get around though. Yay!
You feeling
My
crabby?
monsters get around.
You feeling crabby?
2 are going to attack Annulan. And your AC is, he's probably not going to hit. Okay, both of those miss. Do they get a multi-attack? No, they don't. God, these are horrible.
Why did I put them here?
A couple of shish kebabs.
2 are going to attack Matthias.
Yo, monsters.
And they're
Fish
both
crab-balls.
going to miss. And 1 is going to attack Rodek and miss. So they all miss horribly. Monsters 1 is charmed, and you rolled a 19 on your persuasion.
Yeah.
So with that, it looks at you and waves its the trident over the crabs, and you see the look in their eyes kind of look away, and they all kind of are like looking around like, what the fuck are we doing here? And they just skitter back into the water.
Oh man.
Opportunity attack. No.
Thank you so much, Mr.
You can have opportunity attack if you want.
No.
If they're running away.
How
long does this last?
For 1 whole hour.
Okay, well, let's investigate this room and let's bring him with us.
Yeah.
If it'll help.
Will you come with us, Mr. Blue Crab Guy, like elemental thing?
Make it for switch.
We've got an hour. Let's fucking go.
19?
19.
Oh, sorry. Was I supposed to do it at advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so 19.
It looks
It
at
would've
you.
been an 18
It looks at you as it
otherwise.
sees all of the crabs skittering back into the water, and it just nods and like puts the trident down, like
Fantastic.
it's ready to go.
All right, let's go.
Back to the doors. Let's go. Back to the doors.
I just want to do a quick check around the room to see if there's anything.
You look around and you
Elven
see it's a similar style cavern to the one that you've seen. It goes up. You see the occasional stalag. Tell me, I never know this. Stalactite.
Stalactites.
Stalak is from the
Yeah.
because G for ground.
Stalactites.
C for ceiling, G for ground.
Boom.
Stalactites
Yeah, you know.
dripping
You know.
down. You see that the water is still kind of rippling from the crabs skittering back to their home. You do still see those floating orbs of light, of strange yellow and pink and orange, almost neon lights down deep into like this very dark water.
Is there any way to investigate those a little bit more and see what they are?
The neon lights?
From as far as where you are, that's about all you can see. It's very, very dark water. It looks like there's like a little cave in this cave in the cave, deep beneath the water, and just these lights are the only things that can be seen.
Sylvie, can you like communicate with your new friend?
I
Like,
don't
can you
know.
talk?
I don't think so. I don't think we speak the same languages.
Can I try to talk to your friend?
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna give him some aqua,
This is gonna be amazing.
and I'm gonna throw some aqua at this guy, and,
Go ahead.
and I'm gonna be like,
Tell me a little bit about yourself. From where do you hail? Where did you get the armor? Why do you wait to attack people who touch your shaft?
He looks towards you, or it, we don't know. It looks towards you and doesn't have really any kind of eyes, but you see that, you can probably get the sense by how it gestures, it understands what you're saying.
Okay.
It does not seem to speak in any capacity, it's not making any kind of speak, but it, we'll call it a he, it's whatever, holds up the trident and gestures as to, like, why is the reason, and he holds up the trident.
Your objective is to point the trident up for yes and the trident down for no. You're here to protect these the objects you wear. Is that right? We're making some progress.
Yay!
Ask him what's in the cave.
Do you understand common? Do you understand common?
Down.
okay, so only the aqua.
If you want to pose any questions, he only understands my speech.
Well, and me, kind of, a little bit.
Apparently so, yes.
And he can only answer in yes or no.
And that could make good progress if we want to learn.
Ask him if it's danger down below with those lights.
Is there danger below? Do you see the lights? Are you familiar with the lights? Is there danger there?
Swings back up to a yes.
Oh, danger lights, yeah.
Can you tell us anything about the door puzzle?
Yes or no? Can you tell about? No, he doesn't know anything.
Ask him if Deandra is down there.
Yeah.
That's what he means.
Are you familiar with a blue genasi who went down there? No.
Nope. Purple tiefling.
A purple tiefling? Have you?
Nope.
Ask him if he wants to be my best friend forever.
Do you care to be this creature's best friend forever?
If the hour's not up yet, he swings it back up.
All right, let's go. We have to go.
Where?
Do you want to go down to the cave, or do we want to?
Well, we can't leave this thing alive.
No,
You
he'll follow
can't
us.
kill him. He's
He'll
my
follow
best
us.
friend.
We could
We're
just
rapidly running out of time.
No,
leave
give it
him
an hour.
here. Like, he's not going to like follow us and hunt us down if his purpose is protecting this thing.
Why don't we bring him down? You have to swim down into the cave.
What?
You have to swim into the cave.
If you wanted to get down there, you'd have to swim, yes. And
We-
drop your water walking.
We ask him to stay and protect inside the chamber, and then we just close the door.
Well,
Why don't we?
I would
Why
miss him.
we should probably recast water walking anyway. Why
First,
don't we?
one question
It's
first.
10 minutes.
Ask him.
What?
It takes 10 minutes to cast.
I know.
Ask him if there's another way to get to where those lights are other than swimming down here.
I asked that.
No.
Okay.
Look, his name is Christopherson Waltz, and he is one of my favorite creatures of all time. Christopherson, can I have your trident, please?
The elemental looks at you, and you can tell that he understands that you are genuine and friendly, and he feels friendly to you, but he can't comprehend what you're asking for.
Can you tell Christopherson Waltz that I would like his trident, please?
Your best friend forever is asking if she can borrow your trident.
And he hands it over the trident.
Yay.
Can I look at it?
No, he gave it to me.
I'm not asking to touch it, just to look.
That's pretty girthy.
That wasn't relevant to me.
Best get going now.
Yeah, I'll let you see it.
Do we think that we can ask this person this water elemental any additional information, or should we avoid the danger of it awakening?
I
Ask
think.
if the trident controls water.
Can you swing that shit around and see? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Does the trident have a magical ability?
He it pantomimes turning down his.
I don't think the trident does anything except summon him.
So hold on. I don't like the idea of leaving danger behind us. That could find
Well,
us later.
he's not dangerous.
Not him. Or yeah, him after an hour. But I mean,
Well, you might like me then.
maybe we could have a new friend. But
If-
for now, while he's a friend, why don't we take care of whatever's down in the
Well,
cave?
I mean, I constantly have to leave Lumi behind because you always wanted to watch somebody. So I don't ever have a friend with me. At least let me keep him.
That's
If,
fine.
if there's no other way to that place with the lights, does it matter? If we shut the door behind us, how would they ever get to us? There's only one way in or out of
As
this
far as
place.
we know.
That's what the
As far as the
confirmed it,
elemental
too.
knows.
Oh really?
Who
Yeah.
lives? Yeah, it was in the.
No, in the cave. I mean. as
When
far
the
as
door
we-
is closed, do you have any other way of getting out of here?
No.
All right. Well, if we trust that whatever's down there won't come after us later, then let's go on.
It's not attacking us now. I don't know why it would later.
I just wondered if, since she's a summoner, obviously, could she summon whatever's down there?
Oh, you want to kill the mini bosses before the boss summons them?
Elemental creature, did you attack us because
Anyone-
we touched the trident?
Why don't you drop it? Why don't you go explore
Yes.
real quick and then let us know what's down there?
How far down is it? Can we tell?
It's deep in the water, like probably good 30, 40 feet.
Keep your rocky talkie on you in case you get to like an inside cave.
Can I reasonably swim down to it without drowning?
If you make the athletics check and drop your water walking, you could, yeah.
Alright.
Okay. You jump into the water. I want you to make a quick athletics check to see how well you're swimming.
I'd also like to elegantly swan dive into the water.
Okay.
I don't just drop.
You elegantly use your elfish agility. Elvish agility, not elfish. It's not fucking Warhammer.
Elfish.
Dwarfish, elfish.
Is that how they do that?
Yeah.
I think so.
I only
Shit.
got you said strength, right? Athletics?
Athletics,
Athletics.
yes.
Yeah, I got a 12.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Ouch.
Okay, so you dive in and you start swimming
Yeah, yeah.
towards.
Inspiration, you can use that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
If you want.
I'm just afraid of that. Yeah, okay, just tell me what I.
so you start swimming, and I want you to make a perception check.
And I'm going to keep an eye on her while she's down there.
13.
Do you want to start recasting it while...
13.
Yes.
It
I
looks.
would prefer to leave.
It looks
this water
like
elemental first.
you're swimming. You're not getting. You don't have this same kind of control. You're not used to swimming too much. You did swim around a bit in the lakes, in the mountains where you grew up, but you see that there are 4 lights that are kind of darting around, and they seem very inviting and welcoming. And you're not able to see what's behind it, but there seems to be a huge black mass behind these lights that are inviting and beckoning you.
It's a deep sea fangly fish.
I'm gonna swim back up.
Okay. You swim back up, and you do not seem to notice any pursuit.
So there was no cave.
There was a cave where this black mass was in. And the black mass seemed to have taken up like much of like this little alcove.
Okay.
So I get out of the water and just say, "Let's go," and don't tell them what I see.
Alright.
Okay.
Sounds good to
I
me.
trust you.
Let's make our way. Aye.
Let's go.
Okay.
Can you tell him that I'm gonna miss him a lot, and that his name is still and will always be Christopherson Waltz? And
You don't want
Sylvie
him to
sheds
help
a
us for
little
the next
tear.
hour?
I thought you wanted to leave him behind.
Can we leave him in the next room? Is something
But
we can get
that's
through it?
not
Like...
his home. He would miss his crab.
No,
I take the tear, and I say, "Your best friend forever will miss you dearly." And I add the tear to its watery body, and I say, "Unfortunately, she's going to have to ask you to return to your home and origin place."
He seems to have some kind of recognition. He looks at you. He puts a watery hand onto your shoulder in farewell, and then all of a sudden the armor clatters to the ground, and the water slides back into the pool.
He was so nice.
Alright, let's go!
Are we keeping the trident?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's probably dangerous, but should we also consider any of the other items, like the helmet or bangles?
Well,
Isn't it
I feel
all
like-
shitty like rusty armor?
It's all shitty. Rest
I just feel like if we took it, he'd be naked the next time a friend came by to say hi, and that's unfortunate for the friends.
Aye, say true.
I don't know that we want to take the trident, but okay.
Didn't he say that the tridents would summon them?
No, he was there to protect the trident.
Oh.
He also said it didn't have any...
Oh, then let's take it.
Yeah, I'm taking
Can
it.
you inspect it while we go?
He's my best friend.
Right?
She's a little shaken up.
Okay.
Let's
Don't
let's
tell
make our
Lily
way.
about it. She'll be mad.
Okay.
And it takes a long
A long
rest with.
rest. Or identify.
Or no, short rest, right?
Short rest.
Short rest
Short
with
rest
our
with
identifiers.
that. Okay. So you're going back the way you came.
We're returning to the circular pool, and we're
Okay.
going to close the door so that they...
Okay, you're going back out the door you came rather than the new tunnel going off into the mountain. Remember, it takes you a while. You're walking against the current. You do manage to get back. No waterfall. You get back to the room with the dais. 2 more unexplored doors.
Alright, so I'll start recasting water walking.
Okay.
Are we standing on water underneath the platform?
I mean, if you're down below. So yeah, if you remember that the balcony kind of goes like, here.
Right.
Not to scale.
Okay,
Not
so
to scale.
yeah, if we have 10 minutes to recast that, I would wait. And
Yeah.
let that happen.
It's gotta be- it's
to
gotta be
reset
right.
before we just
Okay.
while we discuss what door we want to open.
Angie casts his ritual. He prays the Bahamut for 10 minutes and grants everyone water walking.
Okay.
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 To the next one?
Yeah, I feel comfortable.
Do we feel like you're going more east ways or west ways?
I would say let's flip one of those shiny platinum coins.
Well, that's 100 gold, so
Fine.
I think that would be a terrible idea. If I dropped it in the water, I might never get it back.
Well, just don't.
Okay. I'll flip it.
Okay, roll a d4.
A D4.
Dexterity saving throw.
3.
Tails.
Did we determine?
I was kind of thinking someone would call it, but
Okay, flip it again.
Okay,
And then east will be heads, west will be tails.
sure. Tails.
We're going west.
Okay.
Which is this one?
sounds like a plan.
Okay.
We turn the stone
Which
so that
convenient
door
is actually
opens.
the next one in the cycle.
The door opens.
Yeah, turn.
And you make your way through, and you want to make a strength saving throw. If you get a 5 or below, let me know.
I'm fine.
I do not.
I'm good.
I got a 7.
All
Save
clear.
your strength, bro.
Good.
Okay.
Alright,
So
my bonus is
you
7.
are.
So I can roll, I guess.
Oh my god, it's a -3.
You walk
Gotta fuck
through,
this out of here.
and you're walking through this this rapid current, and it seems to almost be taking you upwards. And as you're going through, you see a bioluminescent glowing light coming out from the end of this tunnel, and you end up right back here.
Oh shit.
Right back here where Vandus had already investigated.
Oh fuck.
Alright, does this look familiar?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, while we're up here, I may have mentioned through the waterfall there's another balcony with looks like a stone structure on it. I wanted to fly over there, but I can't fly through the waterfall.
I thought that perhaps the lever mechanism down below would open up a portal to that space.
Well, maybe that last room we haven't inspected well.
How fast does your broom go? With the water walking, do you think you could just crash through the waterfall?
Probably not. I imagine I'd crash right into the waterfall.
Well, hang on. We
We
have water walking. If water walking makes us go up as fast as the waterfall makes us go down, couldn't we just jump at the water and go through it?
Ask him, I don't know.
I mean, he's not going to tell us until we try.
What? Worst case scenario, I make another strength saving throw and I land at the bottom.
That's how 40 feet?
40 feet. No, well, if you're high up now. There's 40 feet down, another 40 feet, that'd be 80 feet.
Well,
I mean,
I would-
we really have to go through that other door, though, because I'm incredibly curious about
I think let's do our due diligence and let's just finish off those. There may be something to turn off the waterfall.
it.
okay.
And then if there's not, then we can try jumping
Right.
over.
You may be right, Vandris, that be the way, but one more thought.
That looks like the boss door. We still have to find the map and compass first.
Oh, true. And the boss key.
If this fourth door doesn't work, then I have one more thought about how we might be able to do this without risking our lives in a jump.
Let's go
Let's
through
head
the door.
down and
we'll
then
go through.
let's head down and then see if we can open that east door.
So I guess 2 checks.
So, 2 checks, 2 strength saving throws.
Why do we have 2?
Because you're going
So
through
we
one.
go back.
I got a 5 exactly.
5,
Just
so
sweep by.
you take.
Oh wait,
2
I don't
points of
even have to
lightning.
roll. So I have +4. Because my cloak.
No, but
if you
if
get
you roll a
5.
1, then you take damage.
What?
If
Oh,
you
no,
roll,
no,
below,
saving
take
throw.
damage.
5 or below.
He said if you
No,
roll
I know, but my modifier is +3 and I have 1 for my cloak. So the
Oh.
minimum I can roll is 5.
which means that you could roll a 5, which means you would take damage.
The DC is 6.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
So,
Oh, the DC was 5.
Yeah.
Okay,
What is
gotcha.
the amount of damage that I took?
2. Okay, you go back into the room, getting battered by water, and you open the east chamber. You make your way through. Let's make another strength saving throw, everybody.
Yep.
You get a
So
5
I'll
or
do
below.
2.
I did too.
I did 2, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's to get going through one and then getting out again. So we're going back again to the east chamber, which is covered in water.
Oh, we left water getting out?
Yeah. See?
Oh, so 1, okay.
Alright.
Good.
Roll another.
Fine.
What do we do?
Okay. It's possible. Matthias took it.
Yeah.
And
No, it's-
you go back down, and this one seems to take you very, very, very deep. And you're going very, very, very deep into there. This is the longest it's taken you to go in any of these tunnels. You see very end a shimmering, or not really shimmering. You kind of see the stonework of the same stone, similar style stone grate, and the water going through, and another cavern open. But you all have dark vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got super dark vision.
I'm putting my
You have
goggles on.
your goggles on. So you
Let's stealth, maybe? Should we stealth?
use yourself.
Oh, that's natty 1.
Natty 1, 2.
That's a 2.
That's 2 Vandrises on one
Okay.
roll.
27.
Okay.
19.
6.
Not advantage, not stealth.
I got a
Okay.
4.
28.
I got a 2. Couldn't be less stealthy if I tried.
You see a stone chamber, stone floor again.
Do we come in on the great side?
Yeah.
And this seems to have been the edges of the stone in a lot of these other platforms and walkways that you've been on have been relatively well maintained. This seems to have been beaten up. There are chunks of stone that have fallen off into this pool of water at which this borders. And an outcropping that's roughed up. There seems to be a risen stone rectangle or block of some sort with 3 large holes.
Does the trident fit in it?
You're welcome to try.
Does it look? Does it look like roughly that shape?
It looks like it would be roughly the shape and the size.
We don't have to put it into the holes. We can just, sort of lay it near the hole and just sort of tease it to make sure that it looks like they would be about the same.
So it looks like if we turn the trident
The
over,
right fit.
Yeah, upside down.
the 3 prongs of
Double
the
face
trident.
palm.
Try anymore.
Yes.
I mean, this is like so blatant.
Well, I know that Christopherson Waltz would want us to get the best use out of this trident that we possibly could, so I'm okay with putting it in there, even if it destroys it in our remaining friendship.
About how long has it been since our encounter with Christopher's?
It's approaching the hour if it hasn't already passed.
All right, well, we'll see what happens here, but go for it.
Okay.
Well, so before we
Wants
do
us
that,
to wait again.
can we investigate? Is there anything else besides 3 holes? Is there anything else?
You see very still, dark water.
Okay. So nothing even on like where the holes are. Yeah. It could
Nope. Make a survival check. Hang on.
18.
18. You look around. You don't seem to notice any tracks initially, but as you're looking around towards the banks, you do notice tracks of some sort. They are 2 different types of tracks. One seems to be made by some sort of webbed foot, as if some sort of fish-like creature, and another seems to be
or a duck.
like similar to how the giant crab's made, but far larger tracks.
Or a duck.
Or a duck.
So a giant enemy crab is what you're saying.
Or a duck.
So, who's the fastest of us?
Technically anyone, but I'd like to challenge for a foot race sometime.
Accepted.
I would say whoever's the fastest of us takes the trident, puts it in the slot, and then with the rest of us already in the hallway, and then sprint the hell out of there.
I have more endurance. She moves slightly farther, I guess, in the same amount of time. I guess that's how that works, feet per second.
Yeah, so she's a wood elf, so I imagine she'd be faster than you.
Only by 5 feet.
Yeah,
and
true.
even then,
No,
I can
with it-
sprint a lot farther.
Well, that's true. No, Vanders would be actually faster.
Vandris is faster in bursts. He's
Yeah.
very dangerous over
No,
short distances.
technically he could sprint the entire way.
So while they're arguing, Sylvia's gonna walk up and put the trident in the pedestal.
So
Yeah, good.
they're all still there. You put
Yeah,
the trident in the pedestal, and you hear the all around you, and you don't have to be whatever. And as soon as that happens, the trident doesn't destroy. You think you could pull it free. You do hear splashing from the water up around you.
Well, let's get the hell out of here.
Giant
Yeah,
enemy
back
crab
up, back
guy.
up, back up.
And
you don't want to see what happens.
From the water emerges 3 enormous. What? Are you guys running?
Yeah, I am backing up. So
Yeah,
I
why the
didn't
fuck
do
not?
We never got that close.
Yeah, so you guys
Yeah.
are all at the back. Yeah, your minis are. You
I
guys are
think
at the back.
Sylvie ran
So
ahead of us
Sylvie-
to put the
yeah.
thing.
She went up and put it in while we were arguing.
So you turn, you start sprinting in the other direction. You see these horrific lobster-looking monstrosities, this disgusting blue chitin, tentacles hanging down from their face. You recognize this. You fought one of these in the caves beneath the mine before you fought Orpheus. And there are 3 of them, and another familiar-looking creature, a horrific-looking fishman, but rather than the kind of more sticky shields and weapons that he had, as a huge staff relative to him, with a strange crawdad-looking figure on top of it.
Is
As
it
they're
the professor?
emerging out of the water, looking angrily at you.
I'm gonna pull the trident out and see if it does anything.
You pull it out. You don't hear anything.
Cool.
Come on.
And then I'm gonna
Okay.
run back towards them.
So let's do a. Let me check my speed stats here. And are you going to run in the direction of the current taking you?
We're in
Out?
water.
So you guys are running
once
it
we
this
go
way.
up here.
You could go against the current or with the current.
I'm just gonna run back towards them.
Okay, you're
Wait,
sprinting.
What do you mean against the current or with the current? I don't understand.
We could keep running
So-
in the direction of the water this way.
Oh, I see. They're like two paths.
Yes.
Yes.
This is just where it stopped.
So you
So
Let's
if
go
we-
against the water.
If we go against the water,
They have to swim on it.
They have to
Yeah.
swim on it.
I would say against the water. If they can even fit it there.
and then he's up here. So let's just do a quick.
Or I'll actually dimension door to them to make it instantaneous.
Okay. Okay. Let me just for the tension here. I don't know what.
But yes, they are monstrosities.
They're lobstrosities, horrific creatures.
Get a
So
chick, get a
they
chum.
are looking, and
Not to worry, you've got
the fish creature is gibbering in this horrific language that none of you can understand. His eyes are looking around almost mad, but he still seems to have the intent of chasing you. So you are all sprinting up the way, and so you're all dashing, which is
You said the one that's chanting is the little guy?
yep.
Hopefully we make it out of here with all of our fingers intact.
So I'm just.
Lobster guy.
It's West Coast who got the reference. Dark Tower's the best. If you have any other book references, that's like one of my favorite series. So
It's really good.
It's just
Big
the best.
fan.
It's just the best.
That's like the only king I haven't read. It's been on my list forever.
Oh God.
Oh, you
It's
need
like,
to.
I know. Everybody
Yeah,
who's
that's
ever
not
read
me
it
then.
has been like, "Why haven't you read this yet?" And the answer is because I haven't no time. I don't know.
It is 7.
Your fingers in front are.
Well, isn't it like 9 books now?
So I'm going to need to have everyone make a Dex saving throw.
No problem.
Ooh.
That's a 6.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, of course.
Actually, you know what? I am
Avantris.
going to use inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. Fuck that.
That's an 11. A little better.
So this just says whenever I'm subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to only take half damage. So I don't know if this applies or not, but I do have evasion.
That wouldn't apply to this. Is not a damage thing. I'm thinking.
7.
7.
11.
Holy hell, I got a 12.
18.
18.
Y'all suck. I inspired myself with your inspiration.
Well,
Thank you
18.
kindly. And I've got a 23.
18.
1 second.
What?
I'm thinking.
I use my inspiration if that's what you're thinking about.
It's 11.
Yeah, I'll take the 12.
Okay. So with that, all of you are sprinting out, and you hear a horrific gibbering noise as the water starts to rise up from the area where you're running on, and all of you manage to leap out of the way except for Rodek, who starts to get pulled back into the room.
I reach back and grab him and try to pull him out and yell for help to do the same.
I'll grab him.
Okay, make an athletics check with advantage.
I'm gonna throw my axe out to try to like help. To
Okay.
if anybody can grab onto it.
Okay.
So that's a 15 plus athletics is an 18.
18. So as the water seems to be controlled by this horrific creature that's pulling Rodek back, Ganji reaches back, and with Matthias' help, they both clasp their strong arms and hit Rodek, chucking him forward, and you are bolting down the way.
Thank you.
And it looks like you can hear a splash as they're starting to swim behind you. And although they are swimming and they're strong swimmers, it seems, the current is rushing them, and then it's almost pushing them back out. And
Combat avoided.
yeah,
Wow.
Hey.
Woo!
The value of running.
Right?
Is that like the first time we've ever run?
Yeah,
and
I think
you
so.
run back, and you're just gonna take. Everyone takes a strength saving throw as you go through the waterfall.
Easy.
6.
20.
10.
So what happened with?
Oh, sorry, don't do that.
I was gonna say.
Because as you sprint in your terror, you barely noticed that there is no waterfall falling as you are exiting.
Excellent.
So now we turn the thing towards the other room with the door, and I bet the door's open now.
Yes. Just don't turn it towards either the water elemental room or that room.
No.
Either way.
It seems to me we have two options moving forward. There was the object with the statue at the top of the waterfall. We should investigate that. But also there's the door. That may be two paths that we have to follow.
Well, why don't I take Vandris up to the statue?
And we'll go look at the door.
I prefer not
And
to
then-
go myself, yes.
And then Rocky Talkies.
Okay. Well, you're east, and so you've closed the door, and it's facing north, we'll say.
Yeah.
And it's just opening northward.
We're starting
The
to make our way
waterfall
north,
has
so.
fallen, and you can see that there are a certain number of smaller doors that are into this waterfall. What they are, you probably would have guessed. You would have discovered had you gone through to the end, but you might just find that there are other ways to get out. With that, you easily fly up to the balcony carved in, having been battered by this waterfall for who knows how many centuries. Everything is covered in this rime. Everything's corroded. However, there is another stone pedestal in the exact same shape as the one you just placed the trident in, with 3 holes.
With 3 separate holes, like 3
3
separate
holes,
tridents, or just the same
3
thing?
holes, just like the exact same. It looks exactly the same as the one you just put the trident in.
That one probably turns it back on, don't you think?
Yep.
That's my guess.
That would be my guess too.
You have the ability to move from place to place without moving from place to place. Maybe you give it another go and then zap back here.
Well, I'm actually all tapped out
You're
right
not
now,
there.
so...
Rocky Talkies, but
Oh.
yeah.
I'm shouting at whoever's holding up the Rocky Talkie.
Oh yeah, I forgot you don't have
I'll
one.
be like,
Can you hear me? New Rocky Talkie, who dis?
You have to say at the end of it.
I have to say what at the end of it?
You have to say... Oh, sorry. You have to say at the end of it.
I have to say what at the end of it?
200 gold.
All right. Well, this has been a delightful series of goofs, but
you walk up to the door. You go through the waterfall, has stopped. The water is still coursing through it. Similarly, you make your way through to that same chamber with the walkway to the door, if you want to place it there, and the door is still closed.
but now we can keep going, right?
What do you mean?
Well, like before, we could have walked with or against the current. Can we do the same thing here? Can we keep going this way? If we came
you
down
could have
this
done
way.
that as soon as you came, but you could have
Yeah.
done that as soon as
And
you
we
came.
just didn't. But
just
can we do that now? Because I think we totally forgot about that.
Wait, I don't understand.
It
You
just
could,
takes you back out.
you could leave that way.
Okay.
It'd be another alternative than just running up, right? Had you not had water walking, basically
Okay.
that would have been okay to get.
Okay, gotcha. So
You
there's
could probably deduce.
we can probably deduce that there's nothing terribly interesting that way, as far as we can tell.
Well,
What's maybe
Throw
I'm not
that.
understanding. I'm fine going. Roger.
My name's Sylvie.
Aye, Sylvie.
So, the door's shut, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't say that means I wasn't done yet.
Oh, aye.
Okay, so if the door's shut, do you think I should stick the trident in this thing to see if it opens?
No, I think we should look at that other room in the waterfall.
Okay, Vandris.
There were no other rooms in the waterfall.
I thought
Up
I was sitting
above.
next to you.
That's
so-
where they are.
That's
Oh,
where
they're
the
there.
pedestal
They're there.
is.
Oh, I thought there was
Yeah,
another.
I know,
oh,
but
okay.
I want everyone to hear this.
All right, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm talking to Vandris now.
Yes, Silver, what can I do for you?
trident inside of this thing? Rodick says no, but I don't trust him.
No, I said it was
what
fine.
do you think?
Just do it.
Let her rip.
I'm gonna put the trident in it.
You place the trident in it, and you hear like and rumbling, and the four of you that are there see the door open.
So that's
It's opening. It's opening. Let her.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the trident out.
You pull the trident out, and you have a trident.
Okay, and I'm gonna have
Stay where you are. We're coming.
and then I'm gonna have Vandris jump on the back of the broom, and I'm gonna like push it to its max speed and try and get there.
Grab
as
the
fast as I can.
walkie-talkie. Sylvie, it looks like you did it. Aye.
Thanks.
You get on the broom, sprint take it as quickly as you can. You all convene right at this door that is open, and you see that there are stone steps that are going down deep
to Goblin Town.
to Goblin Town.
Or to Tuna Town.
Well,
as it
let's
were.
go. Should we?
I love Tuna Town.
Should we rest first?
No, we're on a time frame. We have to murder some people.
Yeah, let's go.
What about Funky Town? I mean,
Well, Sylvie has no spells.
Funky
No.
Town is also awesome.
I still have Hex up, but that's it. But that doesn't matter. We have things to do, people to see, elementals to befriend.
Why don't we sneak through and we'll just see what's down there and then we can decide.
oh, the
Okay.
things you'll kill.
I'm gonna steal.
Then we
I
see.
similarly
Okay.
would kill.
God, I've Avantris again.
It's been a
Okay.
nice
It's
time
possible on a stealth check.
That's a 6 for me.
Okay.
8.
4 for me.
8.
16.
I've got my cane out.
21.
Just clomping along.
Okay. You
Are
stealth.
we tracks before we start moving?
What was that?
You need tracks before we start moving.
It's all smooth step.
Make a survival check.
No.
What was that?
9.
You can't seem to find any.
Fair.
You make your way. This seems to have been pretty deep as well, and the stairwell goes down to Goblin Town, but not actually. And it then gets to, you're going very, very, very deep into the earth. The air feels more damp, more heavy, as you're getting this dank smell. It's really dank, bro, and you're going quietly, so your footsteps wouldn't echo, but you would imagine if you were just kind of going at your own pace, it'd be incredibly cacophonous, your standard movement down here. As you approach, you finally see a landing. You guys are walking for a while. And I'll say probably in the time that it's taken that you've been kind of just relaxing, that you would have benefited from a short rest.
Okay.
Just from kind of, you guys have been just kind of resting and doing things, and a short rest. You then find yourselves at the base of a platform that has, similarly to a lot of the others, pools of water around it. And it starts to go off to the right. Let me see.
Throw it up your road, move your stuff.
Always stairs landing, and it gets to the water down there. And as you're walking down very stealthily, you hear voices. 2 voices talking heatedly. One seems to be particularly irritated, and you recognize the voice of Orpheus Radamanthus, and responding is the voice of Diadra Tidehunter. And we will end the session there.
So, the question is, who is going to be the first to rush in to try to murder
Is that
the
really a
people? And, well, between you and Pirate Dude.
A roll-off.
question? That's why it's 1 for 1, man.
A roll-off.
I'll let you take Orpheus, and Adelaide Blue's all yours.
A 1. I've Vandrist. Fuck.
Natural 20! Avantris!
Yes.
No me.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for Legends of Avantris' version of the Water Temple, where all the combat doesn't matter.
The puzzles are made up and the combat don't matter.
If you're on Facebook, check us out on Twitch. There's a lot
Yes.
of dank chat going
Yes.
on. It's a lot of fun.
We have a great time. Thanks so much. We'll be back again on Monday
Yeah.
for...
We have a Discord. It's underneath the Twitch logo. It's on like our page stuff. If you want to join the Discord, otherwise send us a
We
message.
hang out on the Discord, we like to play video games. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we
come
play
join us.
League and shit.
Tomorrow,
Watch Critical Role Live.
Critical Role Live. We do a lot of shit posting during Critical Role. If you watch that sort of thing, you can hang out in the Discord while we do it. It's a lot of fun. We'll be in there tomorrow. And then we'll be back Monday with a campaign DM'd by Derek called You Will Be Witness, a spooky lich campaign.
Who knows if it'll be good? Who knows if it'll be bad? But tune in Monday the 12th to find out. Because it's going to be fucking crazy Bojangles.
Oh, and one more thing. You may have noticed that we got a few of us got our characters commissioned by an amazing artist named Anska.
Oh, yeah.
Anzka. She's super talented. She's a Tumblr. And she's a Patreon too.
Yes.
So
I should follow her on something.
So she's really awesome. Check her out, and if you like her work, chuck her a buck or two.
Yeah.
And
if you
her
like it.
Patreon's like super cheap, and she does a lot of really cool stuff on there.
Throw her some
If you
business,
like
'cause,
gnomes,
man,
That's
goblins,
definitely her.
fantasy
It's
art,
just
you
crazy
definitely
good.
want to check it out because it's so
Yeah.
worth it.
I regret not frosting.
There's
She's
always
amazing.
the future.
There's always a future.
Oh, she's big on goblins.
I
Yeah.
apologize. I
Yeah.
apologize for
Goblins.
being sick on Monday. We were gonna witness on Monday,
Yeah.
but I was trapped in the inner circle of fault. So it happens.
It happens. So yeah, we'll be back on Monday, and then obviously Prime will see what
Wednesday.
happens Wednesday. What happens with Theodra and Orpheus, and who knows? We're finally getting.
Finally.
They're not gonna be able to say a word. Vandris and I are just gonna fucking pump it. Given how combat's been going, we're gonna no problem. Everything's gonna be fine.
Like the Bash Bros.
To be fair, I'm much less effective when we're not fighting undead.
That's
And
true.
so with that, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Come
Oh.
hang out in Discord.
So Feywild is going to be a while, so it's not next Monday. It's
The
the
Monday
Monday
after.
after.
Monday after.
So we're taking
So-
another kind of a long break.
It should have
Unless
been
we
this
can,
coming Monday.
unless we can find like a Saturday or Sunday where all of us are free, which we may do. So stay tuned in the Discord, and if we
We'll
do
post
Saturday and
together.
Sunday, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to do that. So
If-
we'll try to get one in because we know everyone's. I'm already jonesing to do Feywild again.
Yeah,
so.
I'm dying. I want to fucking give our servants some shit.
It's back around.
This is your job now.
Okay. Thanks, guys. We love you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next time. See you Monday.